Yes, people, welcome back. Welcome back to our next live stream. Welcome back to another live stream to the people. We have a lot to talk about. Like, bro, today is gonna be a different kind of show, people. I'm gonna give you some answers to a lot of things all of us as fans has been questioning as to why it's not done, why it cannot get done, and why we're not moving forward in certain things. I know there's a lot of floating around that there are players coming to play for Jamaica. Um, who are these players? Everybody has their group of players. People remember to hit the like button on the video. Everybody has this player coming. But let's remember, people. So let's confirm one thing. The Unity Cup is confirmed. The Unity Cup is confirmed to be going ahead. This show scheduling is there. Kickoff times are there for that game against Trinidad and Tobago. But I'm hearing it's a very important game because if Jamaica lose to Trinidad, who is ranked somewhere in the 100, it's going to really affect Jamaica's rankings. This is really going to affect Jamaica's rankings. So Jamaica kind of has to win the game against Trinidad. 12 teams have finished up their championship. There's only 4 or 5 Jamaican players that's left in championship football now. In Latibo there in the playoffs, Kahim Dixon, Kira Anderson, and I think Leon Bailey up till the 25th. Jonathan Russell, all those guys, their clubs are off. So these players are all available for the Unity Cup. All these players, a lot of them might not play in the first leg of the Unity Cup, but some of these players are going to be there. So the Unity Cup is confirmed to be held. Games be played at. You can't lose points outside of a FIFA window. Nitro 69. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, my brother. I thought you couldn't lose points to teams outside of FIFA windows. Apparently, big up yourself, Johnny Powell. Apparently, you can. As to what I'm hearing today, apparently you can. You can lose points. It does affect your FIFA ranking. That's what I'm hearing. I got confirmation on that today, and I was like, "Whoa!" I thought this game was a non-FIFA game. Apparently, it's gonna affect Jamaica's rankings against FIFA if we. It's gonna affect Jamaican rankings against FIFA. Another Concacaf opponent. Yeah. So Pika now, people. Let's talk a little bit about Pika. Let me give you the 100% what's going on, right? Um, what I'm finding out today that with this whole things of Jamaican players not getting their passport, um, it seems that what Pika is coming. I would love to speak to somebody from Pika. We could have somebody in the comment section with us have some big links. I mean, we can speak to somebody from Pika because what I'm hearing that this thing is very one-sided, where Jamaica, the People's National Party supports more football, and the JLP supports more track and field because track and field athletes are getting their passport in one day. Track and field athletes are getting their passports in one day. Jamaican football players, it's like 2 years. Demari Gray, 2 to 3 years. I think that Pika needs an overhaul. I think they need to cut Pika up into segments for different areas, especially sports, tourism, have where these people are not getting stuck in line when they could contribute to Jamaica if your process was more optimizing the way to get those that applications through. So I hear that this is a big slowdown. This is a massive slowdown for us, and Pika needs to rejig the whole thing. They need to rejig the whole formula and bring it back together. Um, there's a lot of players out there. Some of these players won't the Unity Cup game. Players without passport cannot make they cannot play. So let's keep that in mind. Players without passport cannot play. So it's gonna be a team where if you're out from your club and you're willing to come and play for Jamaica, now is the time. I know players like Kyle Dixie is gonna be there in the playoffs, but his team. But if he's not on the bench, he should be thinking about playing. Looking forward for a place to play in that Unity Cup game. So apparently the game against Trinidad really means something. It's not just a game anymore where Jamaica shows up in the Unity Cup and just lose to Trinidad. Apparently we're not supposed to do that. So important game. And then the second game, we may be bringing some players who are just coming in from their clubs. But I hope. So it seems like we don't know if Pika will be able to get this right. We don't know if Pika is gonna under. I think that's the thing, and I'm not picking any political side when it comes on to politics in Jamaica. I think people vote for who they want to vote for. Um, but it does seem that Mark Golding would be somebody who understands um, sports a bit more as well. It's very important. Whoever the prime minister is of Jamaica, make sure. I think sporting minister, a sporting minister in Jamaica is always looked at as a, you get the job, man, you get the job as sporting minister. I think sporting minister should be looked at in the same ranking as Ministry of Sport, Ministry of Security, um, Finance, whatever the top ministries are considered in politics. I think that's the level sporting the minister should be looked upon and the ministry. And I feel like Jamaica, the sporting ministry is an afterthought. Sporting and entertainment. We just get somebody who we think is well known, maybe. And but are they carrying out implementing strategies to get all sectors of sports moving forward in an upward trajectory? Are they doing that? Who is the architect behind the ministry or the Ministry of Sports? What's the I would like to know who comes up with policies at the Ministry of Sports and just how much those people are tapped into sports and research what they are working off when they're coming up with projects or great. They're gonna build a stadium or rebuild the stadium. I guess Jamaica really needed a stadium, but Jamaica should be littered with stadium. Me personally think that a lot of the projects that the Jamaica government is getting from like with China Harbor and those contracts where they build road infrastructure, I think it should be the same approach towards sports. Because I don't think that even if Jamaica borrows the money, even if the Jamaican government borrows the money for sport, bro, you're still borrowing money to invest in your young people. What's a better thing to do than to, if you're gonna borrow money, you're invested in your young people? Well, a lot of people would say, well, your investment isn't gonna really bear any fruit because you don't know if it's gonna play out. No, Jamaican government, the same approach to roads in Jamaica should be the same approach to sports and facilities and state of the art facilities. And if you look at a country like China, I think they build about 500 football fields like in one area on a project, and it's not taking them 10 years. We're not asking the French to build it or the Germans where it just takes forever. And the Chinese, a lot of people would say, well, okay, they build things very fast. And I think the standard is pretty good as well. I haven't seen because they know how to build things. You see what I'm saying? They know how to build things. So I think that the same approach to whatever ministry in Jamaica, sports should be really up there. And I think it's sports is an afterthought. We just say, all right, yeah, sporting minister, you just go and do your thing. The current minister of sport in Jamaica is not named Bobsy Grains. Okay, who is? I don't know. Did she change? Who's sporting minister? Minister. I don't remember whatever term is it. Sporting minister or minister of sports? um, uh, Whoever it is. I know the last time it was. I would want to know. I said, who's really coming up with the agenda? Who's really the brains behind that? Who's thinking about Bobsy only support Messi? Okay, are you saying Bobsy is still the sporting minister? Because that's why when I talk about things, I don't even have to specify who is really in the post because the idea is not about the idea is even bigger than the person that's in the post. It's a team of people that really understands how to really get this thing efficient enough to a high level. You know, that's what we need. Track and field. I was proud of the Grand Prix in Jamaica. Saw some good camera angles. The production was really good. I think that's something close to that's like the Diamond League. Something close to the Diamond League. I asked this about 4 years ago. I asked this to Sharon Burke on I was talking to Sharon Burke about this on Clubhouse. Um and she thought it was a brilliant idea. And I like that. I saw something as close to it. I said to her, I thought that when Jamaica had the bargaining chip of the fastest two athletes in the world, why are we not bargaining as well for top competitions to come through the island? To get put that's also some things could be I think funding could be even um subsidized. I think tourism could help to subsidize sports as well because if you really look at it, even a Grand Prix, right? Even if the stadium is not loaded, the atmosphere is there. There's still people when they do come out making noise. This is a promotion for Jamaica through tourism, but it came through sports. You see, man, so the promotion came through sport. It was a sporting event, and some people probably a drone probably fly over a part of Jamaica and somebody. You know what I mean? I thought that the Grand Prix they could have did better with implementing commercials or certain things that I think there was a point missed either by the maybe the Jamaican athletic. I think okay, the ads like the commercials in those videos should have been parts should have teamed up with tourism where it's highlighting a different part of Jamaica and the benefits and encouraging more people to come. I think that's where we missed the opportunity where Jamaica could have gotten a bit more out of that event because that event was worldwide. Basically, that was people. There should be drone shots all over the island. You see me? I say commercials. That's why I ask you, who are the people? Who are those people? That's very innovative. Um, I don't want to give him any idea, but this sounds very crazy. Yeah, I think the person could have the personality of a I think Dennis Chung could be a good sport minister, because he listens to the demand of the what the problem basically demands. He listens to people on YouTube as well. He can say he doesn't and implement things where we see the JFF is basically in the white right now when it comes on to their finance is back on track. You don't really hear people giving Dennis Strong a lot of credit. When he did come into the JFF, I know we call him I don't really call Dennis Chung Trickyard, man. That's Ryan name for him. It kind of fit him at one point, but when me really, I try to look at the results. Um, they have their ways, and they always, Dennis Chung is good at, he can handle interviews, and but I think if you can do that, where people are not all the way happy with you, and you can give me results, I think that's still good. And I think like the Minister of Sports, I think you need to be somebody who can. even go around the world and cut more big deals. We saw even, not saying Dennis Strong cut the deal with Adidas. Yeah, Jamaica need more of those deals when it comes on to sports, and it doesn't mean it have to be brand. It could be working with different companies and just so it needs to be the person in front or the team that's thinking ahead. Our sports has been at the same kind of like the same level as I said. That's why I said I was glad to see that the the Grand Prix was in Jamaica for the first time. JT, you can't be sports minister if you're not a part of the ruling party. Yes, so that's what I'm trying to say, and that's why I'm saying, like in politics, Concur, he is an effective leader. Yeah, yeah. That's what I Lee. That's what I'm saying. We don't you don't have to be friends with him, but I think Dennis Strong put enough. I think um I would say burden on himself to get it done, and that's a good trait. If we can see if you come out with the problem and he see that it needs to get done, it's gonna get done. There are things in the Jamaican Football Federation where I'm sure he brought in changes to basically encourage more physical discipline when it comes on to spending and not just rash or brash spending, and still look at revenue and make sure you're not spending more than you're bringing in and operating at a loss. So that's good that they're at revenue where it's based, at least they're broken even. He explained it in some way. I think they still have some level of debt, but some know how they have assets as well in when it as far as going forward and the changes they have made. That's good. That's good that, but we all know there's another step as well. We still don't want, we want these systems to be as strong as possible. So when it's going, it's not, if Dennis Strong leaves, it just breaks back down to where we start see JFA problem. So if Dennis Strong ever plan to leave as Gen Sec, yeah, I hope they get somebody as competent. Yeah, but Dennis Strong as well should look into doing that. Probably the Minister of Sports has the resume, and he seems quite neutral. I think he's full time in Jamaica until Jamaican government shows me that they can pick people who on a non-partisan basis. Then that tells me they're not serious about Jamaica's development. If you can only make decisions based on party line, you're already fraud. You're already flawed in your biases as far as picking the right person. I believe in picking the right person for the team. So until they can show us that, I never see it where a party comes in and let's say the Minister of Sports from the previous administration was very good and the party keeps him. It's like, no, I'm gonna bring in my own Minister of Sports because him did a work with me and did a campaign and take up census. So me have to go just work with you. You know what I mean? So him start do that, and you just become Minister of Sports. While you had somebody in there who maybe gone through the pitfalls, see the difficulties into getting things to work properly. And then when you put in somebody else, it just breaks down. So you have to pick the right people for this position. If you don't want things to break down when you're making transition. Yeah, I think I definitely think Dennis Chung could get it over the line. But we need somebody just like people. We have to put these things out there. We have to manifest these things even if we're not manifesting them. We have to put these things out there. You never know. Because I think we need to have more neutral governments, our government officials in Jamaica. That's what's going to work more for the people. If most of the leaders and the positions appointed are only people aligned with the party, I don't think that opens up the entire country for the best talent. You're now limiting the amount of people, the people pool you can pick a one good Jamaican from. Who we think it's like, let's say the whole away as Jamaican say we're gonna walk around Jamaica and we're gonna look for the person who's the best plumber around the whole island. You see me I say? And we start scan the whole island. The whole way I go basically come to a consensus and says we get consolidate our ideas. This person is one of the best plumbers in Jamaica. Big up yourself, mindset. Big up yourself, Lee. Big up yourself, Nitro. Milshaw Walker in the place. Renting. Yeah, big up yourself, mindset media. So until we see them start do that, that's how our sport, bro. Jamaica should not be short on quality sporting facilities. Every parish in Jamaica should have a state of the art sporting facility. Every parish, bro. It's the world is modern, and it's sad to say, bro. I know people like, yeah, but if Jamaica keep borrowing money from the Chinese, no, I think there should be a project where if they're gonna borrow, get the investment from the European Union, then or whoever is working with Jamaica are giving them the loan at the best rate. Maybe it's gonna be the Chinese again. Um, you're already working with China Harbor. So this is gonna be a total different deal. But I think the government should take as serious sporting facilities around Jamaica as important as roads. And Jamaica have a lot of, remember, Jamaica is a place that has a lot of young people who need something to do. And sports is always seem to be that thing. But suppose you can give them better facilities where they can even now see themselves like, whoa, I'm running here on a good track. May I train every day upon a good football field. Yo, make a work. I look at me can turn pro. Yeah, I'm gonna play upon a good field. I get some good play food to eat, my playing and some good cause. That affects the mind in a positive way. If you just play football in the mud every day, you're not gonna actually think you can play for Jamaica, dog. You just think say go play some other mud side of the road and some other side. You see what I say? We kick with empty the grapefruit ball. You're not gonna get to play the big side them. So we'll not play. Yeah, so we have to upgrade. We have to upgrade the level. We got to upgrade the level of football in Jamaica as well. And it's the personnels. It's all about the personnels. I think football has been overlooked. I think all sports in Jamaica should be, of high priority. I just see that sport as one of our. I know they have minerals as far as aluminum in Jamaica. Yes, I think sport is a form of aluminum as well. It's just the government just has to see the potential in how many plenty people are just running around a entire island. Once you produce the facility for them, you're gonna develop a whole nother sector. You're gonna bring in top clinics, top physios. No, all of a sudden those courses at your university start looking more attractive because the sporting facility or the sporting environment in Jamaica really encourages this high level mindset of kids graduating, working with top athletes in Jamaica, training, good facilities. Well, we have to want to thrive to get to that point, bro. We have to want to thrive to get to. We can't just watch it every day where I just see them, feel them. I have people on some field and rain stuff while the match wash out. You see me? I say the thing just set away. You don't want that happen. You don't want that happen. We want that's what England has over Jamaica. That's what those top countries have over Jamaica, bro. Good facilities. If you want to go play some pickup football on a Sunday with your virgin, good facilities. That's where Jamaica needs to get to. Good facilities. Even if you want to go play some ball with your friend them. And I think that it's gonna explode the talent in Jamaica. I think that's gonna explode the talent because now kids just has level um they have access to high level facilities. That's all the difference here. It's not like these kids in these other countries are just more talented than Jamaican kids. No, it's better facilities and just more organized. Better facilities and just more organized. And I think Crispy, maybe me call Crispy on a topic here. Crispy was somebody was I told him that I would call him. This is not we're gonna touch on the Unity Cup and we're gonna touch on a few more things. But maybe this was something that we were talking about that can be done without money, a lot of money. Um, because Jamaica can get the sponsors. I think it's time that even the diaspora, all these big wealthy Jamaicans in the diaspora, step up and build a nice facility in Jamaica. All the rich people in Jamaica that has like plundered the island of its wealth for all these years. Um, Big up yourself, Crispy. Can you hear me? Big up yourself, my boss. I think this topic would definitely. I think your mic is muted. Your mic is muted, bro. Yeah, big up yourself, Sherman Scott. Yeah, so my people them just I get the stream. So my people them just I get the stream right now. Yeah, Crispy, you there?
Yes, but I'm a little
Yeah. I just wanted you to hear something that I stumbled upon. It just really segue back into what you talked about the other day with things that they can do in Jamaica without starting without money. But for me, I think better facilities is well, I think you kind of disagree on that as well. You think that the facilities it doesn't really I'm not gonna say you say it doesn't really matter, but my whole idea is I said that the government should treat sports and sporting facilities in Jamaica with the same passion that they choose for building roads because
yes, but
I see it as part of the development.
yes, but you see, it frustrates me greatly when you bring up these type of discussions, and I am going to bring up all their address, and then I'm going to get a lot of pushback.
No, man, you don't have to
You
worry about the
understand?
push. But YouTube, listen, when you're a guest on the show, right? Because you know when you're
No,
a
no,
guest
no,
on the
no,
show,
no. Let me. Okay,
yeah,
let's.
you never worry about the pushback.
Firstly,
The people them, they will push back, but it's not like them hate you or not, bro. It's just a different a
no, no,
different
no, no.
opinion, you know.
No, but people have pushed back against kind of facts. For example, let's talk about the facilities for a minute.
Mhm.
Um, Firstly, when you're talking about facilities, then before you can build a facility, you have to find out the rate of use. Will these facilities be used at a rate to at least break even? If I build a stadium for $100 million, within
So
10
so
or 20 years.
can the diaspora? I think the diaspora should come
Hold
up
on,
together
hold on,
and
hold on.
build a state of the art facility.
I'm going to raise this point, and I'm going to give you an example. So say, okay, I build a stadium for $100 million. I'm putting out a figure. Um, will it generate income within a certain time span to at least repay the initial capital?
Okay, so hold on.
When I
No,
look,
listen. Stop now. We're reasoning together because I don't want when you touch on something really good, we need to highlight that. You see me? I say so. How you solve that basically is the stadiums are not just going to be handed over to regular people for these things not to be kept. I believe that you have a specific company that's in charge of the maintenance, however, the ticketing, whatever. And these are things that build even other industries coming up out of just random way of regulating something. Because let's say you have the stadium, you have a company that's taking care of the landscaping. You have a company that's taking care of just finance. It's a lot of different things, but it needs to be controlled. You know, they say, okay, let me hand this over to the municipality, and then we will go into the grass, them taller than you.
yes,
It
but
has to be smart.
I am not talking about. I am not at the maintenance phase of the discussion yet. I am at the initial investment phase. Um, um, if I
No,
will the
but
facility
Crispy, that
will the
was an
facility
example.
generate income?
Crispy, that was an example. Listen, again, you added that entertainment must be tied into this because we want to be able. You see, the facilities in Jamaica need to be state of the art. There are facilities that things can be pulled down. Also, they need an arena that can be pulled down into many different things. Like you have the Tottenham Field, they can change that into something else. You're not gonna have 14 of those around Jamaica, but you at least have one of those facilities where the place can change up the seating, the arrangement, and it gives you a whole different thing that there. So the idea cannot just be people coming and want to build a stadium. Okay, you're coming want to build a stadium. We can you have boxing events at your stadium? Is gonna be having a track around it. I think some of the football fields shouldn't have tracks around them. I think that shows off from the
JT,
football.
the in 2007 for the Cricket World Cup, the Patterson administration, the Peter Patterson administration, ill-conceived, built a brand new stadium in Trelawney.
Mm-hmm.
That stadium now is a white elephant. It's not regularly used.
Yeah.
In another rural community, the Chinese government built a mini stadium. I don't remember the community. Maybe somebody in the chat can put it in the chat.
You know what happened with that?
Hold on, let me finish. And the Chinese government built a mini stadium as a gift to Jamaica. That stadium right now is also a white elephant. What I don't have the data on this, but I do not think Jamaican people on a whole love sports like we think they do. They don't.
I disagree with you. 100% still.
But the evidence is there. The evidence is there. The JPL struggles where patronage is concerned. When athletic events are kept at the stadium, except for the sprints. Okay, if even track and field, Jamaican people do not love track and field.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican people love the sprints in track and field, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And so even track and field, the support is not there because Jamaican people do not really love track and field as a sport. They love the sprints, the 200 meter, the 100 meter,
yeah.
the 400
That's
meter.
when they really come out those days.
Exactly. So we have to do proper analysis regarding the proper analysis, proper data gathering regarding this issue. I have metric and if I wanna see if there's money in something, I look at what investors are doing. Jamaica to invest in hotels and not investing in sport because I do not think the money, the return is there. I think people like you and people who follow I'm gonna call it football and soccer, who follow football passionately, people like you are few and far between in Jamaica. The support is not there like it is. You know what I mean? So that is the reason why I think the investment is not there compared to investment being made in other areas. I do not think there are many things that I like as an individual, and I separate that from what the majority of the people like. And I think oftentimes people who like a particular sport, or particular event, or particular industry, they assume.
Who do you account? Who do you account? No, but listen, I have to ask you questions because then you're gonna be talking for a long time without we're interacting on a show. You know what I mean?
All right, go ahead.
So when I hear you hit certain points, we have to reel it in there. I think the only way the incentive and the movement becomes a thing where people want to invest in sporting facilities in Jamaica is if there's certain things like people would say like communist, being a communist or communist is not good, but there are certain things in there where you would say in a communist China, they come up with a plan to make sure that football is competitive. So they're like, we're gonna build football fields of good quality anywhere we can. The problem is Jamaica, we can't really produce these fields. We don't have the companies in Jamaica that
But you are, but there's one factor. We can't put the cart before the horse. And you see, China develop the economy first,
yeah.
and they take that money, and they
No, they
take
were
that money.
built.
Hold on,
They were doing those
China,
things simultaneously.
China, no, but China is not borrowing money from another country to do what they're doing.
Different size,
We should
different
not,
size economy.
we should
Different
not,
size economy.
we
Different
no, but
size economy.
no, but in the 1970s, China was dirt poor. They were not able to build anything in the 1970s.
I know the history with China. Yes,
yes, but we can't use China as an excuse. We have to give us first.
Mm.
There's an order in life. There's an order in life. When we count, we start at 1. When we say A, B, C, we start at A. Jamaican people and black people overall do not do things in order.
Mm.
We have to do things in order. If we don't do them in the correct order, we're going to
We have
fail.
the capability, we just don't have the will and serious. But maybe it's just like certain companies who get those things done. Like maybe you have a Chinese company, a European company, who they basically get that done very quickly. Like for some reason, I feel like when you ask the people and build you a feel in Jamaica, it's like it's just not gonna turn out how we want it, bro.
I
just have that feeling there. We have the capability, but you know,
I am from the Sainton area of Jamaica, not too far away from the Jacksal field, and the field is really used. You know what I mean? Again, I'm gonna stress it again.
Crispy, let me land there, Crispy. Can you see you just come, so you're not informed what is happening in Jamaica. Let me tell you this. From last Gtech season, the Trinidad and multi-purpose stadium is in full effect. With games from schoolboy football to Trinidad the Major League, to Tier 2 when my team Reno played the 2 time we play Duncan's there, and we play Trinidad. And we play yesterday. So when they come on the program, you just fax them first before you come talk. What is happening in Jamaica? You hear that, sir? And you say, why telephone? You don't know. You don't get information first. You just come out and come talk. Up to today, there's a Trinidad Major League game. I played it today. With Jackson, I think Saltmarsh. So when you come on the program, you just fax them first before you can talk.
The Trilani multi-purpose stadium. If you follow Jamaica news, since it has been built, several reports have done on it. That it is let me finish.
From last Gtech season, man. You have to listen, man.
Let me finish. Since 2007, when it was built, for the longest time, it was unused. It was a white elephant. It was unkept. The grass on the field was knee high. And
Crispy, brother, all you need to just say Crispy is the stadium in Trelawney was built a certain way, brother, where for me it was locked into only cricket, but now they're trying to find a way how to utilize it now.
The Westmoreland scene come there on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
So normally when the cricket play Saturday and Sunday when Trelawney Parish team have home game.
I think that stadium, Travis, was poorly built though. I don't like the design. There was no effort. It was just
nothing.
You know what I mean?
But JT, that's what I'm talking about. Because this stadium was built by the government at the time. And this is the reason why these things are best left in the hands of private individuals who the profit motive is there, so they are going to ensure to the best of their ability that this thing can turn a profit. When you have, when you do not have a profit motive, then you get things are not built properly. And I stressed in the beginning, I talked about they need to turn a profit, they need to see a return on investment, and that is often overlooked. It's still a multi-purpose
but
stadium.
guess what? Crispy,
Hold
how?
on, hold
You
on.
know, but Crispy,
It's
this is
still a
what
multi-purpose
Crispy.
stadium.
Hear what I'm saying, now, my friend? That we're also asking that the government will have to also play a role in subsidizing these projects. A lot of countries around the world, this is funding that's put aside for development or investment to infrastructure. But what I'm saying is the difference with certain countries, they see sport as a raw mineral or a prospect of earning in the future. So they invest through, they see it like you go to Iceland and those places, everything, it might not be the highest level, but it's developed to the world standard of like, okay, they have them physio, yeah, this amount of field in this geographic area, everything. I'm saying, bro, Jamaica can get to that level, I think, through government help.
JT, we can't have it both ways.
Listen,
We
Brian, you
can't
can feel free to join as well.
we can't say on one hand that Jamaica is a poor country, but on the other hand, the government must be subsidizing sports. That type of sports at the heart is a leisure activity.
But I'm trying to change the mindset, Crispy. I'm trying to change the mindset from it being a leisure activity. I want Jamaicans to see that sports is one of our superpowers.
When we talk about a country, we are talking about people, not the geographical. The geographical area is important.
No, man. Jamaican people are
a country is its people.
Yeah, we know that. Crispy, when you talk about things like that, you come like, you say shit, you man coming back to a grade one. Like, we don't have to go back there. So
no, but
we know those things already. Get to, you know what I mean? I say, Crispy, like, I said, dog, we're going to go back over that.
Crispy, which part is that?
First of all, if you're talking about the people, then we have to address the values and attitude and habits of the people. And what I'm trying to say is that Jamaican people are not sports patrons like that. They do not like sports like we think they do. The evidence is there. The evidence is there. They do not like sports like we think they do. People in the UK, for example, they are fanatic about their football. They will cry when the teams lose and the teams they're regulated. The teams are not doing well. They will demonstrate outside of the gate. The stadiums are full capacity more often than not. Jamaica do not have that culture. So, so this is the reason why I keep on saying that we have to focus on the Jamaican people. Jamaica do very well in certain aspects of track and field, and the stadiums are not full when you get a track event. You know what I mean? So,
all right. So, Crispy, as Mr. I outlined the plan to you. I'm just saying, you're good at just trying to. You're looking for more to add more problems. I'm looking for how we can.
I am not. I am not trying to add problems. I am painting a true.
The picture is the picture.
Jamaican public as a private sectors are organists. Only when Jamaica do well in car disciplines in sports, you see them come on board.
Travis, let me tell Crispy said the picture where I paint, it's not Van Gogh, it's not a Picasso.
I am painting accurate. If you talk about the private sector,
but Crispy, that's what I'm saying to you. It's a Crispy. It's the image that you're telling us. A lot of us, we know this already. We know this already. What we were saying is we're trying to get to the willpower, because with all those are what happens on paper. The planning has to be implemented. But I'm talking about the willpower from the government side of the way they envision sport.
And I am saying, it should be started by private people first. If the government should be involved. For example, the Premier League, the EPL, is a private league in the is not run by the British government. You know what I mean? This is to be done by private people when there's a profit motive, and that is where you're going to get the efficiency.
Your mic,
you're going to get the innovation, and you're going to get the best results. It should not be run by the government.
No, I know, but I'm saying that, listen, for the government to intervene the way that, because there are also rules with government intervention into sports as well. I don't know what the exact rules on that is, but I think that Jamaica has to look at itself as a trailblazer, like by saying government intervention sees sports as a mineral, as one of Jamaica's goal. You see me I say? And if you're gonna mine for gold, you're gonna get the equipment them. You're gonna get the equipment them before you start drilling. Yeah, you're gonna try to test the deposits, run through this is the area has gold, enough gold to actually start drilling. Yes.
And also
the gold is the talent.
Also,
it's there.
When you say this, you just say this, and I also doubt, we're talking about football, I doubt if Jamaica has a number of potential, even quite footballers.
No, you see, Crispy, that's what I'm saying.
I doubt if it's there.
Crispy, that's why
I doubt if it's there.
Crispy, I'm saying to you that I believe that the talent is there. When I look at the Costa Cup and the Manning Cup, each year, let's say you want to find leader. You're there, leader. I don't know, leader. That's your area as well.
I'm here. I'm listening to all of you. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I said leader. Each year, even from the Manning Cup, we say we assemble the best 17-year-olds, the best, and I think they're already doing that. So I think the talent is there. Crispy is just that. That's
JT, when these assembled Manning Cup players go up against their counterpart in the region, which is not the best quality, they get like 15-0. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying. Is the talent here like you portray?
Yes, the talent
the evidence is not saying that.
Crispy, the talent.
The evidence is not saying
that. Travis, you're the panic ground. Make him know say some talented youth, young people there in Jamaica.
Let Crispy go on, man. Now Crispy, them all right, They must believe say everything from the name England, no care where from England, a God gift to football.
Hear this guy talking about England. Right. I'm not talking about. I'm not concerned about England, my friend. I'm not concerned about England.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Jamaica. Just Jamaica. We're talking about Jamaica right now. You're bringing up England. Why?
Yeah, because that's all most people that diaspora believe say everything good come from England. I agree.
First of all, let's talk about the diaspora. I'm like, I was born in Jamaica. I left Jamaica when I was 22 years old. It was not a long time ago. I'm a Jamaican through and through. I am not somebody who I'm a Jamaican when I was 2 years old. I'm a Jamaican 100%, my friend. What are you talking about? About diaspora. I'm as if like I was born somewhere else.
You're talking Jamaica is a third world country. Other things apart from football and other sporting discipline, they're not going to put no money in them something unless how much them do it from your 46-year-old now. Last one, when we turned 46, I can tell you, this our wagonist culture we have.
All right, so the person is determined. One second.
When you say that, Travis, when you say that, you're proving my point.
Crispy. Because of the
wagonist culture that you're talking about,
Crispy.
It's going to be very for example,
Crispy is like you're not hearing me anymore.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me just read. One second. Yeah.
Yes. Well, let me make this clear. I'm going to tell you something now, Issa Ali. Brother, me tell you already, brother. Stop calling me name. Every time we try to wine argument and I tell you again for the last time, leave me alone, bro. Me and you is not friend. So you know, see me? Just leave me alone. I'm going to disrespect you. I tell you that already. So leave me alone. A third stream company now you do the same thing. I tell you already. Leave me alone. I tell you this is personal for me. I think I'll joke. Me, personal with you, Issa Ali. So just leave me alone.
All right, all right. So Travis, let me just so for the person determined came on and said governments cannot intervene in sports, and I was like, listen, so determined they have Sports Development Foundation (SDF) in Jamaica. The foundation, funded by the government, provides financial support to national sporting associations, clubs, and infrastructure projects like buildings or upgrading stadiums and fields. So the SDF. All right. So they have scholarship.
Before
No, no, no. Crispy,
before
crispy, crispy,
before I
crispy.
leave this earth, one of my dreams, because I know you guys love this football so much, is to take my own money and build a stadium in Jamaica and run it in a private way.
Oh, crispy. Make
Because
leader.
it will be
Crispy,
my gift to the
Okay, hold on there, hold on there. I love the idea,
crispy.
but let me
Boy.
just help you out here. First question I ask you: where would we put that other stadium?
You're talking about me?
No, just generally. Where would we put that other stadium?
Listen, I think your source.
Because let me tell you something. Hold on now. There's a stadium in Trelawney. There's a mini stadium in Sligoville. And they are basically white elephants. And hold on now. Listen now. Hold on now. Let me tell you one thing too. You know why that happens? Because where they're built, look here, Sligoville, look here, the population there, it is far from everywhere. And so what happens is that when they build these places, the places are built for more political expediency to help the MP in the area, something like that, show up support. They don't have nothing to do with sports. You understand? Because when the Sligoville Stadium was built, it was basically KD Knight who had, as Minister of Foreign Affairs, spoke with the Chinese government. Chinese government said, okay, we'll give you one. You tell us where you want to support it. And of course, he said his constituency, that place could have been in Portmore, which had such a large community just outside, St. Catherine. Otherwise, there's so many places that could have gone. And the utilization would have been different.
And
right?
that is the reason why, I keep on talking about the profit motive. It is best when these things are left in the hands of the private sector who will make better decisions. You agree with me here?
Yeah, but then crispy. Then we find a solution where the government needs to partner up with the private sector. Then where maybe the private.
No, JT, you want a complete separation. You don't want the government to have anything to do with it.
No, you can't say that because okay, look here in the US,
bro.
Right? I know this. Hold on, in the US, the majority of the stadiums there are owned by the state, right? And then other people get them to use. I know this because this is something that I'm planning to do.
I am glad you say that because I live in the US and American people are against this. So you're correct.
The thing is,
you're correct.
I know because this is hold on.
You're correct, but you must also say the American people are against it.
But hold on now. Let me tell you why I don't see why anybody should. Because the concept is that once a stadium is built, listen now. Let me just say the stadium in Fort Lauderdale. If it is when it's built, it's not just one person who has access. So meaning that if you have a program and you want to use it between 1 to 2, right, you can use it. JT has another football program that want to use it between 2 to 3. He can use it. They just apply and it's used consistently. Out here now, when they build these things, right, most of these places, is only one group of people use it. They don't have much utilization outside of that. And because of that, there's...
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so because of that, we always have issues of the cost to maintain because you know what the upkeep is just to maintain. And people don't understand that, that when you build these stadium, it's not just a build it and then you lock it. There's cost to maintain it. It's significant to just cut the grass, have security there so them not thief where all of the chairs them and all of the this and that. And trust me, there's a
people hit the like button on the video. This is the first time I'm asking you guys to hit the like button tonight. This is the first time. Yo, we just roll off the show and got into so many things where we didn't even remember asking to hit the like button. Because today we really wanted to have this discussion. And we talked about Pika, and this is where we got to. with where we're talking about government. This is PICA. It would be also government intervention and collaboration with sports. So I don't buy that. It's a thing where track and field athletes are getting their documentation way faster than football players because there is nothing allocated to channeling sports application through PICA for our athletes. And I think they need to get that moving. Jamaica needs to get that very much moving because the way they don't vision sport as what we're talking about. They don't see sports the way we're talking about it.
Another city. You understand? If you do not do this to the stadium, I'm going to move the team to another city. Then the city is forced to do what the people here want because they do not want to lose that revenue that the team is bringing. Because even though the stadium is public, the team itself is a private entity that is owned by the billionaire. So this is one of the reasons why the American people have turned against the government building the stadiums. Because the power dynamics switches from the municipality to the owner of the teams. So you're correct in saying that many of the stadiums are owned by the city, but that dynamic is slowly changing because if you don't want to get people come out and demonstrate and say, look, we do not want the city to do this anymore because the agreements are not fair. Sometimes taxes are raised to fund these stadiums. Taxes are raised to maintain these stadiums. So this is the reason why I'm encouraging JT to kind of go underneath the surface, go underneath the hood, so to speak, and look at the financial underpinning of the stadium.
Listen, I already did that. This is why I'm trying to come up. My model is in alternative. It's an alternative to minimize financial risk, where it seems as an investment. It's a different kind of investment. If it's an investment that's going to be looking on strictly the basis of profit, we're not going to get anything done. This is where I'm saying that it needs. Listen, but bro, you're going to come up with another caveat or another.
No, I am not coming. But JT, history has taught us that when we ignore profit, we end up in trouble. No. History has taught us that.
But listen, there are a lot of things when you like public transports in Europe, right? These companies lose millions. They make, but they lose when it's, and sometimes this is where government has to come in and subsidize because they, maybe people don't ride the train, people, but they still have to run those routes and they still have to pay people and they still have to use
exactly
energy.
Perfect.
Look at this. On the JUTC, the government at the time, the party government came up with the JUTC to play certain routes. The JUTC has been running at a loss. Corruption, people are stealing the fuel. They are doing this, they are doing that. A prominent gentleman who were brought in to regularize it, he was taken out. Douglas Chambers. Recently, the government has encouraged private operators to come and run some of the routes.
Hold on there. No, give me no, stick a point first. Let me carry back a little bit more. I don't know how many of you remember the JOS. So don't get it feeling that the JUTC is the first thing. There was a Jamaica omnibus service, which was a precursor to the JUTC. It's the same thing. The problem is that the JOS was doing the same things, same routes, but the problem is that they were unprofitable. Okay? And that the government at the time said, okay, let's shut it down because of the same issues the JUTC is unprofitable, and let's make the thing private. So what happened was that people that were in the JOS bought out the various routes and so on, so about the buses and that sort of thing. But But it carried it to another level that I think there were initially about 2 or so competitors doing it. And it just descended into chaos because they could not do the thing profitable. And they were basically ripping off the people, and they could not put out a proper transport for people to get on the thing because they had to make sure the buses were full. So you would never be comfortable, and it did not work. Long story short, it never worked. So what happened? The government had to put back the JUTC was basically reinventing the JOS, right? And it cannot be. I can tell you this too. Check it out. Most countries, their public transportation system is not profitable. But what it does is it makes sure that the people are able to get to work, that sort of thing, and it benefits, it benefits in other ways of productivity and so on. You understand?
Leader, here it's like they're taking it from you in tax and they're subsidizing it back through the government, right?
Also, the government and the government has a problem with the JUTC and these and the industry is concerned because the price of fares is fixed. So if you fix the price, the people, the operators in the market cannot compete based on price. So this is
hold on there. When you say operators in the market, hold on there. When you say operators in the market can't compete on price, explain what you're saying here. Now, who can't compete?
What I'm saying, for example, if you have a route, say from Ontario to somewhere else, that price is fixed by the government.
Okay, but hold on now. Let me tell you something. Hold on, no, stick up in. Let me tell you something now. If you are doing a business, don't make people tell you say not profitable enough. If you have a business, right, and you are operating from X point X to point Y, right, and it's not making money after 1 year, 2 years, are you really going to keep doing that business and it's not profitable? Just like how you say all of them taxi man, them come out and say, oh, this not make money. This not. Look here, they make money. If they did not make money, they would stop doing it. Don't fool yourself. The fears that, look here, the JUTC right now, I think they charge $50 for most routes, right? $50. The taxis charge from, I think, 150, 180, 208. That is like what? 4 or 5 times what is paid there. That is just within the the urban centers. And then now all of the others is the same thing. Look here, they are profitable. Don't fool yourself.
But you just said that the JUTC is not profitable.
No, it can't be. You cannot run a public transportation system and it's profitable. You have to probably check and tell me where in the world that you have a profitable public transportation that is not subsidized by the government. I don't know if
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree what you just saying. But what I'm saying is that the idea of setting price is fundamentally anti-free market. And you're not going to get the best product if prices are fixed. Because, for example, if I want to charge, say, $10 to go somewhere, you want to charge 20, I cannot charge 10 because the price is fixed at 20. So we cannot compete on price. You know, imagine if people sell every phone at a certain price. And nobody can sell at a different price. You know, the market would just not run efficiently.
Yeah, but look here. We could just look at one simple thing. Public transportation, they have people, there's a market because you have people that pay. Look here, in the evenings, right? You have people that have the taxis and they charge $150 and people can take the bus for $50. The people that do the taxis have their customers, so it's a free market. So you are free to choose what you want to use. And I can tell you, if they were not profitable, they would stop doing it. You think the people that own those taxis doing it for charity? They're making a profit.
I agree regarding the taxi company, but the JUTC as this because recently I read where the government is going to privatize certain routes because the government saying those routes are not.
No, hold on. Let me explain how that goes. Hold on. No, you might read. I don't know what the logistics are. Well, let's say privatize the routes. Okay, listen now. There are a number of routes in Jamaica that for quite a while now, the JUTC don't operate in those areas because based off of where the area is, right?
Yes.
Them can't make no profit there because the routes are dangerous because they have a problem of they are normally some of them are inner city areas where they don't run because there's a serious problem with people coming holding up the buses and this and that and that. So that is, as I said, nothing new. They have been all of the bus routes, you know. You have the routes where you have small thing there, buses run and so on. Those are all JUTC owns all routes in the metropolitan region, you know, all routes. But they can give out some that will be more suitable for smaller people to have, and that is part of the free market thing. So you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I do understand. You know, I agree with you, but you know, my point still stands. You know, so
yeah, but crispy. So,
but I am happy that you're kind of shedding light to some of the structural issues that I was trying to shed light on initially regarding facilities.
Mm-hmm. Well, look here, one of the.
It's not as easy. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Look here, quick question. The Trelawney multipurpose stadium, you know how much it costs to keep it going? How much it costs to keep it going? But just by it not being used, how much do you think it costs? Just to have it there as a concern. How much do you think it costs just for the Trelawney stadium just to be there? How much do you think the government? I think it costs.
I don't know, but I would assume it's a pretty penny.
Like how much? 5 million? 10 million?
Jamaican dollars?
Yeah.
Maybe per month. That what it costs per month?
I don't remember right now, so I won't want to say it, but I can tell you. You can Google it, and I can tell you it is tremendous. That is one of the things. Even with let's say with the GFF, when they have the their thing there. Their stadium. One of the things that was an issue was that how the costing for this, how is it going to pay? Because you can't just make it and then have it and then it's only national teams use it. There has to be another case.
Okay.
But it
no. Crispy.
This notion.
Crispy, brother.
Yeah.
We have to get back the show under control, bro. It's just gonna go off on a tangent so with that. You see what I'm saying? I think we end up in a place. It wasn't intended to end up there, but I just was proposing something. I just said that I just want the government of Jamaica to start to see sports as one of our minerals, and we find ways how to develop all to the highest level that we can. We cannot worry about what. No, but Christy, I don't want to. I'm moving on from this topic, brother. I'm moving on from this topic. I'm just saying,
okay.
Yeah, because then we're gonna just go back and forth on this one. Leader, when you're ready to talk, leader, unmute. We want to kick on to as we said, back to Ravel Morrison. This is something here, leader. More leader, and probably Crispy will touch on it. Leader Ravel Morrison scored this week again, but this last goal looked like he was closer to really football running pace and condition than I think. I'm gonna break some kind of news today, and not really, but wanting to ask a question. I don't sure how
JT,
yeah.
JT,
Mm-hmm.
we don't come off because somebody else say he want to come on by the show. Can I call you know answer?
Yeah, man. Look at all right, cool.
All right, so bless him.
Yeah, blessings. So definitely, Ravel Morris, I think no, he deserves it. I don't want to say, all right, why didn't you think the coach didn't play? Some on the show today, I said Ravel Morris flopped. I'm hearing that Ravel Morris flopped. You're hearing it here first. I'm hearing that Ravel Morris flopped in those trainings in the US game when the coach brought him in. But I think when the coach brought in Ravel Morris, I was one of the people here says, I kind of feel guilty calling for him this early because I don't think he's ready. This is recorded on YouTube.
Okay, what I can say this much, right? You see, when the time came and the coach was there, I remember messaging somebody in the JFF and I said, look here, what we need now is Ravel. Pass it on to the coach, right? And no, I'm not telling you straight up. No, I did. I don't have that much influence, but I just mentioned to somebody who has, close ears of the coach. Not Steve Barry, because Steve not dealing anything. I'm just tell you straight up from there. Right? Somebody actually within the thing there. And I said, look here, hey, you need to really find out where I want. To be honest, a little time after that, I noticed, yes, they did recall Ravel for that thing. And I said, okay, yeah, this look like something I go on. I myself, just like how you say, yeah, boy, maybe it's not the right time to call him, because maybe he's not fully ready. But by calling him still,
you show interest. Yeah, so no, we want, so Ravel, so we've got all the details today. Ravel final league game is on the 25th. The tournament starts on the 27th. I think Ravel should come in maybe on the 26th, not play in the first game, but you have him for the game on the 31st if we beat Trinidad in training. He gets a game under his belt. Is he ready to come and help you in a World Cup qualifier?
Well,
you see me, that would have solved a question.
We're not say Ravel again, As I tell you.
That's why
if we not say Ravel in a this, I don't think that is it for Ravel. Because look here, let me tell you something now. The Ravel problem is not just on the field thing too, Ravel is a special player in a lot of ways that you have to know how to manage him. And not everybody there.
Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button on the video.
You understand? Not everybody can know to deal with those players. You understand? Trust me. You hear people tell you that Ravel is a very quiet player that keeps himself a lot.
Exactly. This is what I'm getting.
Right. It's not a bad behavior problem like how some youth were there and thing. So it's no behavior like that sort of thing. You understand? So but look here, Ravel is like a kid at heart. He love what him do. So he go there just like how people will tell you way back then. So he would just go into training when he was at Manchester, and he would just sell the man, then pile them and just embarrass them like what. And just enjoy playing. That's all. That's how Ravel is. And when him actually go there in matches, that's him again too. It's hard to sometimes follow what you might want. You need to give him freedom. It's an artist. An artist, you need to give them freedom. Right? Yeah. He's going to deliver, but you need to give him freedom. That's all I can say.
I was telling someone today, leader, we having the conversation, and I'm saying to them, I said, listen, guys, Ravel is a smoking gun. Ravel is a smoking gun on the football field. Jamaica needs that Erdegaard kind of player who can cycle the ball in the opponent's final third, who's comfortable on the ball. When Ravel gets the ball in that ear, we want him high up the park. We're not asking him to do. He's going to, trap back into the midfield because he wants to get the ball. So he's going to come back deep. That's something the coach, we have somebody on the sideline now instructing we don't want him too deep. You lock Jonathan Russell with Isaac Hayden. That solidifies your defensive. If one is short on one thing, if Jonathan Russell pushes up and he's weak defensively, you have a solid CDM in Isaac Hayden. But I'm also hearing that if Isaac Hayden gets 2 yellow cards, Jamaica, we're back to square one. Based on what I'm seeing, we're back to square one. We don't have a CDM. So I think Jonathan Russell comes in. He's out now. His club has finished up League One. 12 players has finished up their leagues and ready to be called for Jamaica. I don't think we just pick 23 random guys here, because a game would have basically mean for nothing. I think you try to get some fringe guys who we have question marks about and get them into that game. That's why I think that Ravel should be there. His league finishes on the 25th. Maybe he plays, I don't know when their last game is. Maybe if his last game is before that, he can fly out before that. But Coach McLaren needs to answer the question of what's going on with the player. We need that player, Crispy. I don't know what's your thoughts on that. You might muted. Okay, I guess he might. Yeah, he's the best we got. We don't have better. Ravel need to be in Jamaica midfield. ASAP. Like, bro, I think Ravel will let us get a better Demarai Gray. I think with a Ravel Morrison, he can spot those runs that Demarai Gray wants to make in behind defenders. That's what your attacking line wants to do. In behind the opponent. You see what I said? Ravel Morrison has the vision to pick out that pass. And we're not saying to the coach to start Ravel Morrison, but leader, this is becoming the Walter Boyd of this whole situation, the Tuffy Andersons. Ravel Morrison falls into this bracket for me.
No, look here, for Walter, him not going is a different reason. Toffee Anderson, probably his thing was also
leader, not the reason, you know, leader, not the reason. A situation where the people
but
want to play.
That okay, I get you. Well, look here. For me, look here. Let me just tell you one simple thing. We have nobody like Ravel Mars in the team now. The players that they are trying to recruit, there is nobody like Ravel. So the choice is clear. You don't have nobody. Players like Ravel Morrison don't come around like that all the while. Yeah? They don't. So you need to understand that you have 1 year now for this cycle. Maybe by the time the next cycle comes, you have another maybe. Look here. You have to understand what Ravel Mars is capable of doing. You know?
Exactly.
So for me, he must be there. He must be in it. But if we don't see him here, why sad to say when I don't see where I see him. If we don't see him in the Unity Cup, I hope he's there. He has to, by the way, I don't hope. He must be there. Must. There's no excuse not to call him now. Because right now he's coming off a farm, everything.
He's hitting farm.
Call him. Remember, he want to play. He want to play. Call him.
He's an anomaly. He's them kind of X factor player. That's what I'm saying. Even have him on the bench. Why are we gonna bring even whether it's overseas or local guys who are just gonna sit there? We need people who can impact a game. Maybe you have a game that's very sticky. You give Ravel a 15, 20 minutes, he can unplug a defense. You need to get a goal back. You bring him out there, a player playing with a chip on his back. I think it's unless I don't know. As I'm saying, I'm hearing that he flopped. But I don't believe. I think that was too early.
Ready. No, he wasn't ready at that time.
He wasn't ready.
He was just definitely not ready yet.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. That was too, and we were all shocked. We are all surprised that Ravel got called. I was very shocked because even though I was calling for him and he got the call up, I still wasn't comfortable in myself. I was saying, I feel guilty calling for Ravel Morrison this early because we were so excited he got a club. I think no, that last goal that we see him score today, leader, it shows me that he's in tip-top football shape. He just needs to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he needs to. I think he's going to let our front three look much better.
As I said, we have nobody like him now. You understand? And we don't have any, with everybody who they potentially want to recruit, there's none of them can do what he can do. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just understand that fact. So I don't say a big deal if with anything. Yeah, but you have to think that you have to take a chance. You have to do it now. You understand? Because you need that type of player in your team. Yeah, we need him.
Yeah, because I don't think he flopped. I just think he just wasn't ready. And people are going to say, JT, but your bias towards a play. No, guys. Leader, you're building a house, right? And you need a special tradesman to come in and do a kind of work. He might not be the best, but he's the best available on the island to you. What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do?
As I said, we have nobody else. You don't have nobody else can do what him can do, you know. No local, no overseas. So nobody fool and say, oh yeah, you can use Santa. Look here. This guy, unfortunately, has not done what his potential said he should be doing, but at this stage, this is his last chance, so to speak, to go. He wants to go. This guy is hungry. At time now, right? We don't have a choice. Try him. He must play in the Unity Cup. You see, I tell you straight up, if we're not playing in a Unity Cup to see where he's at and what he can do. And the thing is now, the hard part is that Ravel has always played with, I don't want to say, mediocre players.
Yeah, exactly. He has always played with a lower
behind him that can do some of the work for him. Okay?
Yeah.
Right? You need that in the team.
Yeah, we need
you
that.
Need
it. Yeah, Ravel never played with a true CDM. A Speedy Williams, Ravel played with.
No, you have them now. So, you know, we use them now. You understand? You have the people that can do that dirty work fine. Then you have to go back for fetch and do all of them push. Look, man, we always never been able to get him in the team, you know, with people that can make him get enough freedom. You understand? We have some people now that can say, okay, them can go out there, do the dirty work, and say, yo, go do your thing, youth. You understand? That's it.
Unseen. I think you know football as well, and we're not looking for Ravel to come in and save the world. We're just looking at a missing piece for Jamaica that when we look around, is the best available tradesman to Jamaica to get that job done. Yeah, hear me, Unseen?
Yeah, me hear you. But I think you finish. You finish?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. We need that. We need that type of player. I mean, is that position where we get that player who can create something for us and person fear when in top form. But I would want a Ravel that is not in shape.
Unseen, he's in shape right now. Unseen, I tell you.
If he's in shape, then yes.
Yeah.
Not in shape, no. To find somebody that is better than him in doing what he does, we don't have that person right now in our arsenal. And who is not first? Who is out there that we're gonna get for
Yeah. And Ravel can't just move himself to a club and people say football goer say he's not hungry leader. He said he's enjoying himself at this time in the amateur league. No, if Ravel could be in a better league, we know why he's not in a better league. Ravel talent up, I would say, is it surpasses the level of the league. That's not why we're asking for Ravel, because then we would have asked for Daniel Johnson as well. We're asking for Ravel as a tradesman to come in and do a job.
Mm-hmm. And with what's his name? Bobby Reed out now. We're in some problem. So I mean, what are we gonna do
now? Yeah. I guess Casey Palmer is a rotation. He's not the answer as of right now. You know?
Yes.
Louis Baker and those guys don't have their passport. Guys, they don't have their Jamaica. But and to have you need to have a Jamaican passport to play in that game. If they get it in that time, that's great. But what I'm hearing as well is players need to travel to Jamaica to get their passport. I heard it's 15 days in Jamaica, 90 days if you are away from Jamaica. And that 90 days can turn into 180 days too. So they're saying the best way for some of these players, they need to take the trip to Jamaica and get the passport.
Yeah, Louis Baker, no, we're not messing it. Not ready yet. I'm not to understand. No.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to see Warner Brown in this Unity Cup.
Yeah, I want the league is finishing time. I guess that's what I want. League to be finished. You know the drama that is on now.
Leader, what's going on? Ansi, what's going on with Tyreek McGee? We're not talking about him for the national team, but is his career over at Veer?
I don't know.
What do you mean his career is over? Hold on. That's not a trick question. That's a basic thing. How can he play anywhere else? No, he has to move. Tyreek McGee can't think that. That don't make no sense. Well, by the way, isn't he supposed to be in what do you call it?
In gang.
In Belgium, in gang. So let's see, Let's see. It's not, man. Terry Maggie will be in the gang this summer.
If he doesn't go to games, he doesn't go overseas.
But hold on, why shouldn't he go unseen? Why shouldn't he go?
It's what I'm saying. If he doesn't go, or whatever, the worst scenario is still back in Jamaica. He can also get good pay at a club in St. Anne.
He had that offer for the club in St. Anne and man turned it down poor. Terry McGee's, you know what Terry McGee's problem is over the years? Is a youth that was played for me. I know the youth well, right? And I can tell you it's basically poor advice. I tell you straight up. Poor advice.
Well, I don't think that offer is thrown out in that offer still stands. I don't think that offer still is thrown out in that offer still stands.
For over by Pleasant? Really? Yes, really? Based off of who Pleasant have? I think Pleasant moves past him, you know. I don't know, I don't ask, but I would. I mean, hold on, is there? Hold on. Anyway, let's see. Cause as far as I see some players are coming. I think teams think done this now. It's like somebody get an offer to come and then you take too long. You better find somebody else to do the job.
Yeah,
as far as I say, I think them find it. I don't know, sir. Let's see.
Who they find?
Eh?
Who they find?
Anyway. Hold on, question. Let me make it simple for you. Right now, right, in the JPL, right, if you were to pick a JPL 11, right, would Thierry McGee be in there? I just make that simple question. Why wouldn't he be in there?
Because of
the club where he was playing.
So, no.
It wasn't.
Hold on, racing not up there more than about mid-table. I mean, no racing have legitimate claims of players there.
They ask a question, you know, nobody answers. So I am telling you, because of his performance in terms of his numbers and so on in the league, right? Now, if you watch games with him play, you see him brilliances come out at times. But there's a part of the game where he's lacking. I mean, I have no fitness at all. So that's the reason why. But if he was fit and playing, and even if him team drop out, and they fit and play and get score goal and a assist, in my squad.
You are guessing that is what would happen.
No, I'm not guessing. I'm just saying if that. But the reality is that.
No, you're still guessing because we're not sure. We don't know.
No.
Oh, hold on. Let me just put Unseen. Let me say one thing here. That a lot of people going around. Hold on, Unseen. Listen to what I'm going to tell you now. Because a lot of people out there is not looking at this fact. Why did Tariq McGee leave the USL? Wasn't it a fact that he left his place, that the team did not renew his contract? Isn't that the fact? No, that's
I think he could have got another move in the USL if he wanted. He could have got a move in the USL.
No, he could have gone to another one, but tonight you're not saying, you know. The one that he was at, they did not renew his contract because of his performance. It's there publicly on the internet, you know. They tell you the reason why they did not renew his. So hold on there. So what was the reason going to be? Hold on. Make it another question this way. Was Tariq a regular starter at the USL club? No, hold on, man. No. Unseen. No. Let me explain something to you. What you don't know.
You can't interpret they want to interpret because.
No, hold on, man. Unseen. Do you know that USL contracts are all of them? Nobody can sign a multi-year contract. They are year to year. Do you know that?
Yes, you know that.
Okay, so hold on now. Go on Google and look at the club. The clubs tell you before who they are going to be taking back and who they are not taking back. Tariq McGee was told you that they was not taking him back. And he was not a regular starter in the team. He was not a starter.
He was him alone. With other players as well.
Because, listen, but you're going around the thing, you know. Tariq McGee, hold on. Unseen, answer one question. Was Turk a regular start at the club?
No, but when he started perform.
What dear right to do? Hold on there. This man couldn't hold on a regular starting spot at the USL club, right? And you talk about numbers. So if he was not a regular starter, I'm getting what?
National team if he wasn't.
No, I don't think we want to put the national team in this now.
Yes,
Because that is another. Hold on, no. Because hold on. If he was not a regular starter at USL, hold on, man.
JT that calls him the national.
Hold on, no. If he was not a regular starter, hold on, man. If he was not a regular starter at USL, how could he leave as a big player at a USL club and even come in front of JPL players that are regular starters and racking up better numbers? Come on. We're too sentimental with Maggie now.
No. You know where the argument is going? And you never get argument. You want to say him not ready, not good enough, him time done, that is what you want to say. You work with him time done and him not good argument. You win.
Yeah. No, however, I just think that, as I said, Craig Butler gave him a story and he bought it and it backfired. I think that's
no. We don't know yet. JT, if he ends up at Genk in the summer, he would not have been a story. It would have been a fact. So let's give him the time. We have another couple of months, so let's see. We'll be hearing something in July as the transfer window opens that Terry McGee is with Genk. So I'm going to give it that. Okay? Because remember, it was said that he only need to get his fitness up, everything, just to the plane, and he was guaranteed. It was not if and but, based off of no performance. They say Butler said he is with Genk. But Genk just basically making him stay here to make the great Craig Butler work on his fitness and form, get him up to scratch, and he's gone. So he'll be gone shortly.
It's a foreign chamber.
Yeah, but the possibility of him going to Genk is very slim. It looks.
JT, I'm back. Hansen, let me tell you something, Hansen. I was in St. Anne, Easter Sunday, and I hear all the details. And I hear the amount, the money they want from Mount Pleasant. They're not even there make that in a USL. So man, they just laugh at me. Let me tell you that. So now no plans to go back there. Maggie was tricked by Craig Butler. Let me tell you that. Time can't work again. All of it to call a spade. Simple as that. Maggie time done now. Try somewhere else. Try one different thing. Go or somewhere. Maggie them a joker.
I think he should have at least. He said he wanted another challenge. That was in an interview after the USL, but it didn't work.
JT, it was not flipping start in the USL team.
No, but he did play well. He did play well in the games that he played. Leader, come watch him.
The leader could have find another USL team.
Yeah, he could have even find another USL team.
He could have. I think he could have.
But he made Butler turn him in an idiot. Just like how Butler turned Mr. Cousins and mash up their team. Trick Mr. Cousins. I'm telling you,
honest, Craig also tricked Mike Henry the time when he went there.
No,
he tricked some other people. No, he tricked him for a while. What happened? They get rid of him before. But Cousins in the middle of election, him not get a time, and it is too late. But all the time this year, Craig was just consistent and did all of those teams. Sporting Central, right? And the next one, Sporting Central, Humble Lion. There's another one in the, I don't remember the name, Baptist Alliance. All of them flirted with relegation while he was there. And they got rid of him.
5 last year at St. Thomas. Baptist Alliance, when he was a part. 5-2. Right.
So listen, he has been consistent. So this is the first time he has done what he was always potentially threatening to do with all those other teams. Relegate them. Him just, listen. Anyway, let's not say. This man is, I think Craig Butler as a physical trainer and getting players ready at a certain stage, yes. But as a overall coach, no.
A leader tell Nitro what you say about the Peacock. Him and some other person believe say persons in the jail and deliberately make the players them now get through to get their passport. So tell him what you say. In order for them to get the passport, whatever do. So explain that to you.
No, hold on. Listen. Somebody cannot legally apply for the passport on the next person's behalf. What's happening now is that the government is also involved and they will assist, but you have to make the move. I can't say you can't go there and do certain things. The person has to do certain things for themselves, right? What I can tell you is that it has reached a high level where the government now has, once they are showing the interest, right, they will get the assistance, but they have to do their part, okay? Right? But somebody can't just come up and say them going, go do your thing. You can't. You can't do it. You know, they have to play their part and do certain things in it. You understand? Okay? But people can assist in getting like birth papers or grandparents, that sort of thing. But the actual process, right? You know, the best thing they can do. So what I'm looking for now is that some of these guys are going to be taking a little vacation to Jamaica in the summer and just finish off what has been started. Okay?
So where's the leader? Take vacation. So wait. So we're not going to have a strong team if you World Cup qualify and the Gold Cup.
Yeah, man. Of course, we have a strong team.
Okay.
I don't know. Hold on. We'll have a very strong team for the World Cup, I think.
But that is the most important thing, leader. Gold Cup and secondary.
Hold on. Which is the most important? World Cup or World Cup?
The World Cup.
But I said we will. But I just said yes. We will.
Okay.
I don't know what will happen in the World Cup, but I know for World Cup, you're going to have everybody will be there for that. But Gold Cup, I can't tell you, say.
Sorry, leader, let me ask a question. I understand that players get them rest, and why when Messi and them big players, they feel them country call upon them? When they have vacation and they're always ready for their country. But our players, them are
no.
Why? Why is it like that? No, tell me like that.
I don't know. Maybe, let me make a simple statement. Hold on now. Let's make a simple statement on that. I'm going to say two words. Jamaica, Argentina. There's a huge difference.
Leader, agreed. So why Argentina people as players are committed more than we Jamaican players? We are prima donna business then. High business independent.
No, what is that difference? Hold on, man. Okay, let me tell you what will change. You see, when we get Mason Greenwood, right? And some other young talent follows him that can play the next World Cup cycle. Watch it.
Yeah,
because
leader, we know
Mason Greenwood is going to be that pipe.
We know, leader. At the same time, those players like Mason Greenwood and that potential Jamaican heritage players, they're born in England. So the first result is to play for England, first and foremost. And we need to understand that. But most of the players like Lemba Sika and in 90, we are 20, you know, and this is them in the national team at all times. You know why? Because them committed to Jamaica from them young.
No, Charles,
but that's what you need to do.
You can't do it. So those guys can't.
You can't drop everybody. Hold on.
Listen,
what you can't drop all of them. You know,
those guys can't help Jamaica right now.
No, JT, you can't say that, JT. You are young, JT.
No, but listen, they're gonna be there for the next go around, brother. You can't get emotionally attached to it.
You can't find players. Everybody has put out names to players with passport. You have them. So you tell me, say, and this can't make this a team now?
No, I don't. I just think that I don't see him helping this team right now.
Okay, listen, Anderson. No, if we were going to get Anderson, honestly, in can't make it. In can't make the team. If we were expecting to get, in can't be there. Honestly.
We always have put out players' name and they have no passport. And that I'm simply saying to you.
Yeah, but if certain players do get the passport, Anderson can't make the team.
That I won't know.
But
these young players
look here. there should be about 4 players in that World Cup squad, new. That's all I can say. There should be. Okay? Let's wait and see. There should be about 4 though.
Yeah, we know about the 4 players.
So let's see what happens. Okay? Right? And by the time September comes around, we should have a total of probably 6 new players, 4 plus those other 2. Yeah, we should have about 6 total in there. So let's see. Okay? Let's see.
Yeah.
At that stage, it's going to be more difficult.
But
I wouldn't see him.
Why McLaren pick Ravel when he as a replacement player in a game, non-game? I don't understand that.
The thing is, him probably pick him based off of recommendations, and then when him see him come, him just say, boy, him not up to the standard. So that's it. So that's it. That's
Ravel, when Ravel left part of a new setup, he wasn't there.
No, but that's years ago. Yes, no, but that, listen up. How I know a player played years ago, it's not the same way.
But,
and the fitness players, a young youth, they're naturally fit.
No, we agree with that. But leader, we have here now as an out and out CDM. Ravel will be ideal player for the Bailey.
Exactly.
That's what I said. No, you have him there, so it make a difference now. So
you look at Cook, I call the Curry Gold League going there. Make so many mash up down. They got 10 goals already.
So look here now. I want to see Hayden at the Gold Cup with Ravel. So those there. So honestly, some of certain players that midfield that we're looking to build, even if we don't have certain other players like maybe Pinnock, I don't know. I just saying certain other players at the Gold Cup, I need to have like a specific section, like maybe the actual midfield at the Gold Cup. We need that there.
Come here, man, must say Pinnock injured and Pinnock on the bench in Brentford today, whole game. Not get a game. Someone have no which part Pinnock injured.
No, then no. What I'm hearing, Travis, is that they're watching him with the injury that he has. Are he supposed to do a scan? I heard that he was supposed to do a scan. So maybe no, what I'm saying is they probably, if they don't need him, they won't use him. Because
no, but the guy where's the guy Liverpool? I get out Pinnock,
Yeah,
Pinnock wasn't that good as him last year when he was excellent, for Brentford,
Yeah, he was.
He has some half game, half late.
Yeah.
But me also say this now, JT. I'm not a low fan, and me see Lower play consistently for club, you know bad, but make Low never play. You two mash up.
Yeah, me see him got one of the somebody dropped something where he got Damian Lowe got the highest ratings in one of these games.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had. But that's not really the issue right now. What I'm saying is how I articulate it to these people, because as leader says, me make my phone call them to and make the people know. Say, listen, brother, we don't want the Ravel thing become a Walter Boy tough and this situation where the people them want one player in a team and it not happen. It create a lot of frustration. I was a part of seeing those campaigns. When Tuffy and this run on and Tuffy and this end up scoring a game, people know that they validate the people and say, you see how we give him a chance? And you have the division. So I think now because you see, if the coach is not picking Ravel, and God forbid Jamaica start lose some game, you hear the people, and the man have a Ravel them and not pick them. I'm telling you. So I'm saying having Ravel even on the bench won't hurt Jamaica, dog.
Fair enough, JT, fair enough. Ravel is an intelligent player.
Yeah, maybe having a sticky game against Guatemala, 1-1, nil all, you put a Ravel on 15 minutes left. It's something new for the not Nicaragua, Guatemala, something new for the Guatemalans them deal with in the last few minutes. He probably hit a combination with a C-fast running, because he can pass the ball. That's the thing. He has vision to just slow down the play and pass the ball. And sometimes our players them get carried away with the ball. The players where we currently have, we don't have nobody where we can stand up on the ball and dictate. So we don't get any respect in the middle of the park. Every game Jamaica enters, we just give up the middle of the park. We just say, "Afuna, man." So we have to start competing a little bit more in the middle of the park. I keep saying, we're gonna run into teams where it becomes predictable that we're only attacking down the wings. Right. We need to be able to attack down the center of the field as well. Because them World Cup qualified game not gonna be easy, you know. These games are not. I don't care how small the opponent is, brother. It's not gonna be a walkthrough.
Well, JT, I'll be in the stadium June 10th. Nothing will work me out. So, the regular thing that me and my friends support the country for the match they are stadium we did it.
Yeah, very much. Yes, yeah. Okay, so Unity Cup, as I said, the Trinidad game is come off, it affect our rankings. That's what I heard. Because they are 100 and something, and if they beat us, it's not good. So and Dwight York really would want to beat McLaren.
Leader, explain the ranking. How ranking go?
I'm here.
How ranking business go?
What you said? I never hear what you asked.
The ranking. JT at about rankings.
What ranking?
Like the Unity Cup.
Yeah.
It will affect it.
Yeah, the Trinidad game is gonna affect. It's gonna affect the Jamaica ranking if we lose to them.
Yeah, man, it can. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Because the competition.
Yes. It's not, hold on, listen up. Because it's a friendly, it's not very make it like a competitive one. But
Okay.
Hold on, let me explain something. You have the A matches, B matches, whatever. You have some matches that all matches. So listen now, in the past, I don't know if you remember how much you remember 98. We used to play that was friendly matches back then. So every match you play, no matter who, you held your rankings. But since then, what they do is that they put more value on the international competitions that are by sanctioned by tournaments. So they don't carry more weight. Okay?
Well, I don't feel
Crispy, you're still there. Crispy, you might muted, you know.
You don't need that, JT. Maggie not even the palm field bench. He last game of season.
So where's Maggie now?
He not even on the bench. He played last game before this. Against Harvey when they get 6. And he's on the bench today.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't sink into some kind of depression or them thing there.
Depression, man. But then I put him where I want already, man. But let's sell him where I want, sell him already, man. And he bought it.
Because how are you going to send a kid from Jamaica to Europe from a team that just got relegated?
Team chance, that brother.
Well, yeah, but there are players who moved from teams who got relegated. Because there's some players that I think Dilap at Ipswich might get a move. I don't think he too good of a striker to go down with Ipswich.
But there's relegated to League One.
Who?
Amari Bell.
Yeah, man, Luton Town. I'm going to League One, man. Down there at League One.
Well, Mount Pleasant that lead Humble and gone home, boy. Boy, it's sad.
So what happened with Mount Pleasant with these players? I didn't even look into it. Players fraud and all this.
Actually, man, you can't compound money.
Well, look here. As it is, look here now. Let me tell you now. The defense that they look like they're going to say is that they didn't know what the players were doing. Okay? So,
but later, I heard that the players were transferred from January, but the work permit never come through. And 3 players them now do nothing. That's what I heard. The same Real Hope play the players them in February.
Real Hope, listen up.
Yeah.
Real Hope would have known that the players can't play.
Then how Real Hope play them?
No, hold on. Let me tell you what I heard. That they were loaned back to Real Hope for a period, and so some collusion going.
Okay, so that's kind of like a rule. So they don't see it pan out.
Because listen up, there is no way. Listen up, man. Unless they're running a party shop.
Yeah, true.
You know you just get them 2 players. And when them 2 playing matches, you would not have to even check.
No, but our 2 players, you know, yeah, what's more pleasant game than Thomas is on the bench, you know. Clifford Thomas on the night, you know. I 2 last player, you know, Jedi and Exilus. Because Thomas tonight, I see people that say, Carl Thomas. Thomas is on the bench with Mount Pleasant right now. So film transfer was different from before them.
Listen, the mere fact, as I say, the way it reached now, it is not just a JPL or whatever. It's Concacaf is in.
Yeah, man, Concacaf.
So the mere fact. Once Concacaf involved, them go sanction real hope. And they go bigger. Them go real hope. We have to say, how come they play them? And so we're going to know what real hope will say.
Okay.
But as far as I see, the ignorance of the law is no excuse. It's just like, look here, when I stop sign in certain place, I'm going to go through the stop sign and I say, oh, you know when the stop sign was here? Ignore that the way the prosecution is. Okay? So I don't think it don't matter still enough. Because Mount Pleasant will still be in the playoff, which might be a good thing for them. You understand? Meaning that
your team today, I'll give. Your team, I'll give. More lines to give today. You save them. Leader, we know politics like this.
I'm safe. I'm already, you know.
Yes, man. This man will have to transfer.
What people expect, my line should be okay.
Listen, leader. You say if this never happen, we can't guarantee and tell you that humble line was going to get the game today. Let me tell you that, leader. Me I speak from a place of independence, so we can't tell you what happened. Boy, JPL. Let me tell you that. That's the reason why Mount Pleasant can't be humble line the game this evening. Because we know your team and the humble line the game today. Let me tell you that.
That's a possibility because I think
there's a possibility.
These are good friends.
Leader, you see JPL, all politics. Let me tell you that. Certain teams, because I heard that they wanted to treat Chris Williams and to humble line on that team. It's for Chris Williams. That's why humble line don't suffer. That's how it go.
Okay, so it's not the Mount Pleasant is it Mount? It's not necessarily Mount Pleasant.
No, but JPL, the Mount Pleasant is wrong, you know. They should be sanctioned, you know. So I feel them father, but I tell you about the politics of JPL with the town and country thing, brother. It's still affecting Jamaica.
Which team that I think will pick up Omari Hutchinson? I think there's a few teams that could pick up Omari Hutchinson. Maybe, I don't know. I'm looking at the leads that's coming up and see if they would need a player like Omari.
JPS not a player, man.
Huh?
Omari Hutchinson England player, man.
No, I'm just answering a question. No, I'm just answering a question from one of the commenters.
Okay.
Saying which club that I think he would move to.
England player, man.
Yeah. Not a Newcastle. Maybe a Nottingham Forest. I don't know. That I just or a mid-table club, a West Ham.
Let us see. Can I say if he well good, he must can't stay one of them club in your car.
Remember him score a good goal against.
Yeah? Look here, one thing you said a while ago. Just get it clear. He's an England youth player, right?
Then what me said, leader, I said nothing wrong. But him can't no time.
Players are out there scattered in the lower leagues.
Listen up, leader. Omar Hutchinson can't make England see that team no time now. He could have kicked ball till him weak. Got too much players ahead of him. Players must know what is good for them and their career. That's why I tell you, say you like let me see and so rate them the youth there. Can I come play full for them young?
It's the same name I was just called. Lemby Keys.
Yeah.
Same
yeah.
name.
So if we have to talk to them, we support them youth there. Just like Bobby them Maps and Hector them come to Jamaica from them young. Can they realize that they can't play for England? Some of the players they still away, hold out, and then when they come and we a man criticize and they don't want people talk. Like if fans they don't have no feelings of them alone. Big up rude boy.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Yeah, what are you saying, leader?
What do we do for Antonio?
Antonio.
Well, I don't see.
When I want to play, then I said, Japanese, the gang and I man mash up down Israel, scored 3 yesterday. I have Trevor and destroyed down Serbia and 15 goals.
No, I don't think we.
What do we do for? No, listen, not who we bring in, you know.
Yeah.
For what he has done for us, right? Do we give him a
chance to come in and I wouldn't say regain his spot.
No, leader. What has to happen with
No,
him?
leader.
Travis, let me get the answer. Basically, Mikel Antonio need to focus on. He's probably gonna be moving this summer. He need to focus on a club in England, just like anybody else, and he's gonna want to get back up to football fitness. And if he's that level,
if he's at a fair amount of fitness and can be included in the Gold Cup, would you carry him? Because
he's not for the Gold Cup. He's not gonna be ready. No, leader, he's not gonna be able to play any competitive football up until the Gold Cup squad is gonna be selected. If you look at the schedule, he's not back at West Ham playing. He's not gonna be ready for the rest of the season, so he's gonna have his preseason.
Yeah, but
so
hold on.
he has no football shape.
I know he might not be back for West Ham, but if he tells us, look here, I'm 75%, do we give him that chance?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Career?
Leader, I agree with you.
Yeah, because the thing is, a lot of them, when they come, a lot of people don't realize that the Gold Cup, some of them when they come, is when they're moving, actually going to be moving clubs, and the agent said, look here, the Gold Cup is a good place to highlight you in the summer, and probably
put it like up with
a club.
Yeah.
I would honestly, for the Gold Cup, if he's at a certain level, and he can compete, may I carry him in?
What? See the third body here, man. Vera lead, Chapatan.
Who you carry leader?
Tivoli Mobile 1-1. Portmore 1 over Racing. Mobile 1-1 Tivoli Mobile. Waterhouse 1 over Dumbiolen. Or Chapatan 1 Veer-nil.
Okay. Who you said you're carrying leader?
No, I said I would carry Antonio. What if he's at a fair enough level, even if he's not 100, may I carry him?
I think I just don't think he has any competitive football and the game speed for the Gold Cup. And I think Mikel Antonio need to be careful with how if he rush back his fitness. He's at the age where he can re-injure. So Mikel Antonio should just stay out and get back to football at a club.
Just look at the team, Cavaliers, man. It's a brand new team, man. Start. They're really looking for like here.
Yeah, man, I didn't know about that. Because look here, you see for the playoffs, hold on.
Yeah.
You see those teams that going in the playoffs, nobody can start most of your regular starters at this stage because it's going to be a longer after season now,
Okay.
So you have to be careful, you have to manage today.
Yeah, man. Basket, King, Leg, Calvin, Reed, Atkinson, McCleary, it's all of them.
Okay, but Travis, we have to stay a little bit on topic now too, yeah? Because we just skip off and we just start reason about something else. Let's focus in a little bit. As I said, the Fisherman, welcome to the thing.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you have a point you wanted to make? I saw that you was calling.
I don't know what was the topic. I just go on talking all different things.
Yeah, Well, what we covered today was the importance of having Ravel Marcel back. We also went over the need for more good stadiums in Jamaica, accessible to local communities, but it's on a high level for the development. So I said that people should look at even borrowing some money from the Chinese as seeing sport as the same energy that they see fixing roads. I believe that Jamaica has sports as an asset that we need to utilize. Well, but we were on to the Unity Cup team. 12 players are available as well from their clubs that are out of season now. Jonathan Russell and all those guys. Only 5 players are still playing. All right.
12 players is available.
Yeah, Jonathan Russell and all those guys. Their league ended, League One. What that man? Some man make one big. Yeah.
Yeah. That sound you're making.
Yeah, it's better now.
Anyway.
No, when you talk, I wonder if somebody.
somebody like I behave like that. Anyway,
Yeah, go ahead, boss.
anyway, what I'm saying still, oh no, get fed up of this every time. This Ravel Morrison and Mason Greenwood. Oh no, get fed up of it every. Over about me, I go about 2 years now or more.
Yeah, we never talk. Yes, I actually no mention Mason Greenwood today.
No, but leader talk about Mason Greenwood. Me don't know. Every time me don't get fed up of them something when you hear some players if it come from Wappy kill fill up and them now reach and we still talk about them. I think we will move on and if them come and get up every day and talk about them. Just coming like a scratch record. Anytime me just get fed up, man. Anytime I listen to come on for the program, them and me I listen to them and me hear them come on with Mason Greenwood. Me just say, John Star, the man them can't get past this now, man.
Yeah, I like that's why even today I didn't bring up Mason Greenwood though, because I don't see any sense of me talking about it because it's not gonna help the situation. Right? And me talk
this
about
man,
it.
This man is a big man, supposed to make him one decision, and people are give him leeway and I give leeway to him. For what? This man, if this man really want to come play for the country, him take up him things them and him say yes. Me every day we get up with this Mason Greenwood like
well, if you come to be fair, we never talk about places still, you know. Antonio, we never talk about brother.
Yeah, man, me hear leader talk about Mason Greenwood, man.
No, man, he makes some reference to him. We never talk about him. He was in the topic.
And anyway, with Antonio, I don't think Antonio going to fit enough to play no football right now still, you know.
Exactly.
So get past Antonio now, man. We're not going to put him in a squad. Leader say for what him do. More time I want what him do still. But you know, what him do. 5 goals and what him do. Me not understand. Sometimes I wonder where we call for some player and want some player for us cementing at the team for what I don't know. Just to where them come from. Because it's where them come from, you know, it's not the matter of playing, you know, it's where them come from. This is all about is where them come from. Because we're talking about Mikel Antonio meeting a fatal accident out of commission for a while, and we still talk about when him come back. Come back to do what? Come back to do what? Move on from him now, man. As you say, when name Steven Stewart there in Serbia, you have this guy where name the guy in Israel, where say him to score 3 goals.
Yesterday, yeah. Japanese.
Who that?
Japanese. Younger 9 man.
So
Younger 9 man. 4-3, sir.
So the really call about Japanese right now.
But I don't feel come at you. We just mention and then try him, sir.
But Japanese is a striker to where we get goals, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. Japanese is a striker.
Low center of gravity striker. Strong, very strong too.
So why you say if you don't look back to Japanese? Why you say if you don't look back to him?
I just feel like we have a better option, even if we're gonna. Because listen, and actually, though Jamaica need a low center of gravity striker. That's why I said I want to really see Warner Brown in the Unity Cup with some better tests. You know, better tests.
So
I'm really stretching a bit.
Otherwise, from him, who is the next? Who the better options than we are talking about? Like who?
Tyrese Campbell.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, but what I'm saying is, remember I say no. Warner Brown is current, you know. I'm just Shamar because he still is gonna be in the team, right?
No, but if I think if you go and call Javanese, I don't think you have Java. You're supposed to have you put down.
Me not say me that call Javanese.
When that boys are not score or not, boys are finished.
Bro, me never say me call him Javanese, you know.
No, what I'm saying, me don't have a problem calling Javanese.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that.
Well, Fisherman, we don't come on sometime.
Which league? Give me now. Which league? Give me now. Which league? Which league? Giovanni is in now. Which
Giovanni?
Where Giovanni is there now? Him still there, Costa Rica?
No, Israel in the great. Israel.
For first division?
Yeah, man, top team.
Yeah,
Top team. Our big team, let me get to the team side. We to our big team yesterday.
I'm not Tel Aviv.
No, man, some high part the team name. Let me follow them. I remember exactly. But our big top Israeli team, they beat 5 on this. He scored 3. I said, but I think he said 2 goals.
I want a big team them in Israel in my place. Man.
Yeah, man, I want a big team in there.
Okay.
When me ask them, man, when we are look past them, man, and say we're done with them. Like Giovanni, it sounds like Giovanni play a ton load at a match with Jamaica. Which me know say no play a whole heap of match with Jamaica, so me don't know why you're not done with him.
No, I think Giovanni is every time he play for. Remember one of the best games where him and Ravel them play together in the Serbia game, and I'm pushed down to man and get the goal in the Saudi Arabia game.
Yeah, man, them not score 1 goal in one of them. I think him score a goal in one of them World Cup campaign, the last one of them. I don't remember. I remember him score one goal, him run on for the defender them and overpower them and score. And I think him is a player we have good technique. Him control when him control the ball, easy get him off him ball so easy.
He improve a lot.
I think he's a good player. I think we should change our brother.
I think he could have got a call over let me see, Romario Williams.
But amount of player and coach we have in Jamaica, the team go hard to pick. Sorry, JP. South of Romario Williams and Devonese. You don't pick Romario Williams or Devonese?
I think no, that I've seen Romario Williams. I would give maybe this would be a good game to call Giovanni's for them. So.
All right, sir. Yeah. Agree.
And we see maybe step him up this stuff, right?
Yeah, do you mean all right, that tournament like this where you now get another full-fledged team where we have as the senior team, which sometimes I wonder still. So my man when we say are we senior man and then cement himself.
Maybe. Them say Pinnock have a grace to field still because he's gonna play he's gonna play in front of the Brentford fans for Jamaica.
Some of them now cut it still, Some of them not cutting it at all.
Well, man, don't do Japanese. Man, it's a gang 9 months. So it's like when they don't do 7.
Well, at the end of the day, still, anybody come play, me cheer.
Yeah, man. No team, man, we have to support them.
Even if not for them, me play them when me see them play. Right. So, me is a man, me not have this big thing when them talk about them player, me feel say, I just some little average player we have, and sometimes when me hear some man talk about the team, that's where say, I want a world class team we have. some top class baller. And me just not see every time I watch a team, I just not see it. I just not see it. Not at all. And you have some people who make it look like so boy, we have this top team. We have an average little team where when we watch them, I keep my finger crossed. Say boy, I hope they can score a goal.
Well, forget the scene. More present. The humble line again, because Cavaliers are lead lines one love them. Please, more present. The humble line again.
Travis, you just cut the conversation and just talk about your own thing. I
just talk about that. At the end, you one thing said that me I go to Butler. One thing Butler go in and second tier go play no football. You think he might go down and go play?
So when we play for German, when we play,
I think he might try it, and half of the season if he now go well down, then I'm cut.
I don't think him going. I think him going to withdraw and play them from the club, and that's it. That club.
So
yeah, man. Then that him do, man. Just look out and see if he might go play. The man ego big, man. That man now go play not second tier football, man. You hear him say. The whole of the players they will play in this. Them now go there Jamaica. The whole of them are going.
So you believe that? Sister man. Say all of them. You all of them will get contract.
We are then me I ask that. This
No,
man,
that's everything, boys.
me not take everything this man take. Me take with a grain of salt. Me take with a grain of salt.
I come on record. Start that season. I was the first person to say, Dear Phil, that will be relegated. The whole are you JT can't tell him.
Yeah, when him coming out, you know, we didn't want him coming out, you know, because when both the attack, me want him come in there and get him baptism. Me I really want him get relegated, you know. But you see, after some speech when him start make, they say, yeah man, him figure a bush. Him figure bush.
Boy, them are fans are not easy. All the bug players name we call it. So fans, Sylvester with him. Tell me the top class Jamaican players then. From Heritage Jamaica will play first thing. Since the players name we call them.
Travis, my man loves the heritage and he sit there, no man. To make sure he separate them.
Yes, man, but JT, it is the fact.
And Maggie, me lose her for a the big time. Me lose her for him until I came. The man just make me feel a way. When he make first thing he make the man tell him some foolishness. You in a Jamaica, you choose the worst team to go represent. You can't understand. The worst team you choose to go represent. And now, I just don't know. That brother, I don't think that they have no guts. He not have no. I don't know. The man, I feel it's going to be in a football career right now, you know. Yeah, man. I feel it's going in a football career. Yeah, man, Maggie,
Maggie, for sure.
yeah,
I think
man, make them.
all of these football, like, brother, they reach a crossroad where they have to make a big decision and then take the wrong decision. Just like Shamar going to Russia. I thought it was a bad move. I made a video them time the Ryan channel and I say Shamar Nichols taking the risk to go to Russia at this time is not a good idea. Not his fault though the war happened right after, but what I was saying, what I was saying was, if you look at his trajectory, right, played well in Belgium. When you leave Belgium, if you need either go to Germany or championship at England. Okay, so he didn't try to get into Germany. He took the money, went to Russia. Maybe thought he could have played well there and get a big move. The part he took the wrong path. He needed to stay in Europe.
Yeah, we think with Shamar to what was that still? We think we're not putting the decision when make to go Russia still. I just show the war come up and he just kind of shake up the thing, you know. Because the man would have played in Europe and all them things there, you know, the man would have played now when he go down there, you know. But at the end of the year, he made a decision and when the war come, he couldn't do nothing about it.
But another war I one because football play Russia full-fledged, you know, throughout the time. It's just sanctions. The money.
Yeah, man, the money him go, and at the end of the day, him lose for him. I don't know, him lose for him. And him not look like he might get it back anytime soon. In Ghana, Mexico now, and deferred the last thing here, I think I one goal in score from him go down there.
You are a new coach now. Farmer, you're going to big man. So they stand a new coach.
Yeah, but the coaching now, I don't think coaching has nothing to do with why now him not scoring no goal.
No, man, I want a new coach now. One farmer trying to like himself.
I want whole heap of coach and fire, you know, since he started. A whole lot of coach. You know? So, I don't know. Him just lose for him and him look like he might get it back anytime soon. I don't know. I don't know if it's a confident thing and he's a brother who used to full of confidence. And if him lose confidence or what?
Yeah, man, it on social media, man, no, man. Joke is in Indian camp.
Yeah, Shamar is a player where he play well when his confidence is up. And I think, as I said, down in Russia break him confidence because he drop out at the starting lineup, go up on loan at Clermont, France. It didn't work out that well. Still played some good games, but there's no consistency there.
We're finally get to that butler out of the tournament now, right?
No, man, I'm gonna get to that myself, man.
But I win the tournament. But I win the tournament.
And you know, beat one top 16, I know. I know you know, beat one top 16. But it's good. Whole season, man.
But I don't make Buckler team like him. I don't make Buckler team like him. Good enough.
No, we do. Listen to that.
No, we're not complete the sentence. Even when I said that I have strictly speaking. I'm saying that the people like on this platform like this one make Butler feel like it's important because Butler when I'm a Manning Cup match, one Manning Cup tournament, right? Now, one of that things, if you listen to Butler, you feel like the first Manning Cup tournament ever in Jamaica history, and I'm in the first one, and nobody else can win. See? And then all of a sudden, Butler want to take on the world. But the best thing, everybody in Europe, you might blink in Europe. You see these guys there, you will not see them again at play for no time in Jamaica. And that's where the idiot comes from. And then, but those of us who know about football, both in terms of the politics and the geopolitics and all the elements of football. You know, okay? A coach in a Manning Cup tournament, all right, it's a good impression, especially if your team will never win it before. And so you must give him some commendation. But we find that a lot of the commentators then, I'm being very direct now. A lot of the commentators go overboard them things. They overkill Butler with the praise. And I think that gets to him. Somebody can say, just accept the accolades is a good thing, a schoolboy them. I'm a professional. All of a sudden, them are professional and can beat up everybody. They get a really rude awakening they never expect to get. Understand? So, but my blood didn't come back down to earth, and but from his time, I say, that side there. I say that side belongs to Premier League. That side belongs to a Division 1 competition where them can build up them understanding, build up them
man.
Level.
And it good if them reverse. It's good if them reverse.
And it's a unique to Butler. That's the thing we know about Jamaican footballer. As soon as them score one goal in our Manning Cup match, the Cup, they're a big star. And nobody can talk.
You know what Butler need to know? Butler need to know so them we are jump out of the tier 2 if him not serious.
Anybody who thinks like he must come today.
You know that Paul, I'm saying that Butler if him not take the second tier serious in jump out.
Look here, man. The Butler and a Premier, and what the disappointing thing there is that is Lenny allow Butler to make a look more stupid than the man is. I tell you, Lenny who has been a few Premier League and belt and otherwise. Allow people like Butler, who is a non-skull, who has an experience at the level, to make him look for rather stupid. Oh, you bring yourself to the level.
Money, man. Money.
No, but there comes a time when you have to stand on principle, man. There comes at the end of the day, you know, money can't buy character, you know. And that's how but many characters have been damaged by the stupidity and we allow Butler to drag into. And but to the point, and then they start talking the garbage of Butler talk about him in the match, back into the Euro.
You know, if you expose to the person in the run, go to and I see you see man.
You know, let me start saying, you have to pay the blending to Europe. I want to live there. I want to know if they're going to achieve the land people.
Yeah, man, with the JPL 3 different times for 3 different people. Yeah, man,
yeah, man, that I can't tell you, man. I am saying, you know, that, you know, I'm not a man to try and things like that. But I try. But he needs to keep himself calm, man, because the way he's not to this way.
No, man, the ego too big, man.
Yeah, the ego. And a lesson to everybody to learn, not just in football, but in life. That someday you can't fly too far past anyway, otherwise you might drop out on this side. And that's how we reach Butler. In fly past in next, and it make the youth and build the youth and expectation in an unrealistic way. There's one thing to motivate young people, you know. There's one thing to motivate young people. There's another thing to make them feel like they're bigger than certain things, and nobody can stop them.
No, Carla, these young youths, Carla. They have a mind of their own. And like what me and you broke. They use easy mistake. And that can use for them. You give them to a prison suit, man.
But in the Maggie, I say Maggie came as a guard Europe. I know I signed a contract with the European team. When I said G, for me, it was Jesus love of the soul. You understand? So, but I mean, the football, you know, the take already for that platform. The football is bigger than Jamaica now. You see the more,
You sound far from your mic. You sound far from your mic, though. Paul.
No, actually, I'm about to block in the center. The next, I like a nice outside.
Okay, yeah, man.
No, sorry about that.
Yeah. Kids ever make nice and thing.
Yeah, and then some of them use a machine outside.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point of my achievement is that there's nothing wrong with motivating the players because all of us need motivation at different level of life. See, I know coaches have to do a lot of that motivation. But you have to be careful that you don't sell them a 60 or 9, you don't sell them follow.
Yeah, a fake dream.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. They cannot have the youth and believe that they alone and the role of play. And that is why a lot of the really got to be young and got a bigger society go play, go fire and change. They realize them don't exist. There is a nobody because some idiot telling say the world wants them and the world have praise over them. That's not entirely true. That's entirely true, you know. And like that's why they must struggle when they go elsewhere. But they get people and they look here, there's a lot of challenge out there. You can't make it, but there's a lot of challenge. You have to prepare yourself and know that you have to have an A game to the coach and respect you and see you and draft you. Otherwise you come back that type of balance in the region without reassure them that they have a place. But not because they are right. They don't arrive for them. They have to work hard and sometimes things not going to work for them. Because we think that we play them good out there. Me learn that as a football observer, a sports observer. Me think that we play them good enough. Until we play them start to play with us good. I sit down on bench and I pick the club. I really have them a top ball and them a this and them a this. I sit down on bench. The only person who have a stellar career, as far as me can remember, a baby Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
One club till he retire. Straight through.
A Bolton.
Everybody struggle. I mean, Fulham look good, Fulham come behind him, didn't do well. Pepe come do well too. One or two other man, but the rest of them struggle.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And so Butland is the first person to call a young player from Jamaica to go to make it that way there. But at the same time, it's a nice feeling to help the youth to move to the top. But you must overplay your hand. You don't make it seem like it's indispensable. Race with Jeff, have them certification and badge. Have things.
You know what I heard? I heard that every game when he come down, let the team, the man come down and chill, he start at 11.
I mean, I doubt it. I don't know, but we know you're there. But knowing Butler, I have no doubt that he will do that. Don't you know that?
Yeah, man.
Put that out there,
because the team will tell him that. That's where I come from. So it's an important benchmark in terms of humility and humbleness, where a lot of coaches need to learn that you're a schoolboy. Remember that schoolboy football we are talking about, They're going to step up, there's enough of them walking behind it, enough of them don't understand a lot of things. So you can treat them like they're a professional. They can tell them they want to become professional. Next week, just look at them sign your club. And a circle, that process. They can burn up the youth, and they can kill them dreams before it really starts. If you don't know how to work them career the right way. You understand? But you have people that tell them they're a star and then score one goal, and for some we don't want to watch them other dishes, and we don't want to look at you and them a star and then this and then that, and them go far. And not just go far, but we say go wait for you who say them have good promise. They not make it because it's different at a different level. So that's that's how you them feel away because they realize when they step up them game, realize the pressure with football there is a different type of thing. But I think they could have run up to the Premier League and different for body. Because I need that tell him he's a big coach and he buy that. Next you know, say, every match in get beaten.
Yeah.
Because and you get the impression the rest of the you almost look here. You almost think that the rest of them jab up and much and beat him. Besides he might teach him a lesson that he never forget in his life. Yeah, you know feel like right.
Humiliation ritual. It is a ritual. Initiative. You went to the ritual like a fraternity and beat him.
Yeah, man, you beat him, man. And look here.
Or hazing, he got the hazing.
Yeah, you never forgot away. If you just take your time and enter the league and take your time, shut your damn mouth, look around one, learn because there's a politics outside after the speed, after the field, you know.
Yeah, one at the time Veer go win about 2 to 3 games in a row. Butler said, actually I think we can win the league. He said, actually, I think we can win the league this season. Because before he was saying in about 3 years they can win the league. Yeah. But then he went on a 2-game winning streak and he started saying, I think we can win the league this year.
Himself, I say you I say come out the man and realize after that I just turn the scoop on him and get tighter. And lock him on that.
I just think these players were just young and inexperienced. They didn't have an identity for themselves. When you look at a club like Racing, I'm so proud of what they did at Racing. I don't even know those people, but I think Racing did a good job coming out of Tier 2 and staying up and competed this season. Yeah, man. Yeah. There's a couple of days even them said the young youth Ellis where people talking about he's at Racing.
Yeah. But the difference between Racing and the other team, but guarantee, is that who in charge. You see, leadership is important in a team. And like oftentimes we miss them link there now. You see, leadership within the youth and we're leaders that tell young people is important, you know. You understand? When you're young, when you're a young team, you don't have all the resources at your disposal. You have to take your time and build it up. And part of building, you see, is causing players to build themselves as a person. As a person. We're not talking about it as a person. Know the ins and outs of the game. Know the social elements of the game. Know the link. Understand? Know how certain referees relate to certain situations. Those are elite characteristics that players have to develop. You take young players and show them face in a one tournament. You kill them, you crack them. Yeah, you crack them. I mean, I think that was young, them really young. But those pieces,
in get one next player at Chelsea. At Chelsea, one next young youth gone to from Phoenix.
No, hey, man, go to the train.
The one where the youth did go up with him father.
One little one named Sean Sinanda. He must have about 17 or 16.
And the Butler not in a sign with Chelsea.
Sign with Chelsea, man. What do you JT, man?
So when did I go Chelsea go do with it?
All right. The man say my biggest agent in Jamaica. I will check it out international dimension. That's a both of them kind of mixing. And them have the most players from Jamaica overseas.
Yeah.
But now only have captain. I was surprised that a Chelsea player.
But Butler can also, but you see, Butler can use that. It's like you're playing cards, you know. Butler can trump that with and Fisherman, feel free to join in because we just mute your mic till you're ready for talk. Butler can say though the players that he did found were gems. One of the Butler player, you see me, one of the Butler players' salary, the entire salary almost for the whole Kevin Cohen fleet of players. When you look at Leon Bailey's salary, nobody in a Cohen fleet.
Yeah, and some to that. The club can't do that.
No, and then you whisper upon it.
Yeah, but you know, you have to put the thing in context. Remember now, and a lot of people know how much people fancy about the reason of it. Remember now, to be fair, you know, Butler never signed Bill to German side from Jamaica. You know. And then it could have possible because Bill never born in England and Bill never played football to get the type of acting. Because remember, the labor laws with no govern the European circuit, you know. Because it could require that you play for a club in a Europe, you have to play a certain percentage of the time the national team. You know. See? And so in order for you make it into England side, you have to go there as a juvenile. So that be able to reach in a Belgium as a juvenile.
Yeah, as a juvenile. Yeah. And then his Jamaican natural attributes are come out against his peer, and then they develop on top of that with him.
No. What actually about the argument, brother, is a way how to get into Europe as a non-European. So you have to go there as a youth. It's like how we spoke about Chelsea as a youth. I saw him have to go there. You can't leave from Jamaica club and go at Chelsea without playing for the national program.
Yeah, because listen up, what you're saying to Paul, is that's what I'm saying is when you get them there young, now they will get the expertise and the coaching that will help to maximize the potential of the raw talent where them get out at Jamaica. So Craig Butler discovered that it doesn't make sense you wait till players get older and a play well in the Premier League at Jamaica if you try and move them. He tried prop up their value before they're 18, 17, 16. He start propping their value.
No, but what I say, you can't do it the other way.
No, it's a good strategy, bro. It's a very good strategy.
No, it's not even a strategy. No. I am saying none of the clubs them locally cannot sell a player. In other words, they let us say Cavaliers. What is Cavaliers that for?
I think Mount Pleasant and get to that place they do,
No, but Mount Pleasant, the idea, if you check the European labor law, the idea is that no player can leave from say Tivoli. They just say you play for Tivoli. They just say you want to play for Tivoli. And somebody wants and they want to sell it to a club named Manchester Newcastle. Unless you play for the Jamaican national team, you cannot just walk in from Tivoli go check in Newcastle, and I say work, You have to be the only way you have to leverage them. You have to be a youth and when a youth program and for a youth program, them rise them up. So you go and I saw at that reach.
Are you take the back road in Europe now, where you can end up at Slovenia, Macedonia, and them club there and clock your way through the bridge back around Belgium.
With Bailey, you go FC Trent in a southern place. And then you go and get Belgium. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so much can eat it.
Hello.
You go and get
Yeah, man.
When you say what you're talking about, just in England you're talking about or all of Europe you're talking?
I think I really Europe. I think I'm on really Europe, but it's stronger in the top countries than England.
It could not all over Europe when Devon, if we get to Devon is short left from out of the league and go straight in a something.
Yeah, go in a
That's what I say. Some clubs are a bit more stronger than others.
No, Devon Stewart never leave from Mount Pleasant and go play for
one club.
Direct transfer, yeah.
Yeah, Serentina.
The top club in Europe. Remember you have.
No, you're telling Italy law is different from England.
Yeah, I mean, So we know that we learn it during the days when Simon was there and try to get
But brother, Paul, I know England alone football player. Me not even worry about that. England to me are your last leg when you leave Jamaica. Unless you leave as a youth, your last stop at the journey need to be England for you. You see me? As me say, like see if us them take back road. Shamar them. You go to Slovenia some place and you work your way up into Belgium. That's why I say when Shamar turn off, go down to Russia, him drop off at the pass there to the English league.
Our France.
Yeah.
You should have got Russia.
But you know, we need to understand too, if you have football in a new way, we need to understand the Jamaica football, the bar, we are excited about Jamaica. When they go there, they realize that they will struggle because they will stay ahead of them. They're not going to go and there. So they have to take the best group available to them.
Yeah, but I don't think politics not football in the country, you know. It's easy to know.
Yeah, right.
Some people that actually play as they go overseas and come back here. And they're not even other teams other than football. Yeah, so if they go and back to Makaya, he starts again.
Yeah, other factors.
Paris, India left Slovenia and Ukraine, the big team. See now India organized stand on loan for beside of Ukraine.
Who that?
Paris.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. That's why I'm really about Laron after all that happened. Get him remember, the European tax problem have the ability that produce far better bother than we, you know.
Anyway, look here. Give me a talk. What about that still, you know? We don't want to play down with him, though, still, you know. We don't really want to. You know, I play down with him, though. My problem with him into arrogant and into lie. That are the when Bailey come about, you know, he's a man when me usually rate up on him thing there, you know. But then we start listening, every window, European window, him have player move. Every him tell him how much player move. And when you take it out, not a thing no go like that. So you just get fed up on him, realize him just a liar. Him just come and and him feel say nobody else follow football in Jamaica. I'm alone. So him come up with something and talk some things more time. I'm just shake man. I know say I like myself. And every time we hear really for player we him have over, you know. Otherwise some whisper and Bailey. Me ask Ryan all the while, you know, because Ryan is a man who always say, what love will I say, where play them name? Where them come from? Which part them play? Yeah. He said, Mark. He said, no, Mark. He's a big man. Mark don't have no league with anybody, any little player from out there, so a player scrimmage can go over there, go play in a league over there. I
play for Martin. Or I play enough.
Yeah, one player used to play film, play over Martin, and end up play for Martin. I tell him, say, Atkinson, when him talk about all the while, Atkinson play over there for years. That me tell him, say, Atkinson not good, because if he did good, he would have made him all that team for years when he play over there. So, for sure, when Butler come out, say, oh, Jamaica, no player them could have made national team. Then the ball could make no national team. Not
Which part of it?
Never use one. I've got pass the color. Valid pass. First part you play against me. I've got the team on.
Come on, I want back to the when them play on Arnold. I wouldn't play and them end up get Arnold when they play and get.
Yeah, man, I'm fine.
I'm say I watch the man. The man don't play what? 2 free kick tech. And the only ball them play forward, you know. Every ball the man play back way. Every ball the man play back and side. He don't play a forward pass in the game. Me I say about Hollande. This brother, when me hear people that talk, him could have make Jamaica side and him could have this brother never ready for football. He not ready
But Fisher, may I say the same thing, you know. When the year says, because I have a kind of standard about footballer. I want to make a look at a footballer, and you can't do a little something about it. But when you hear about I mean, I think Jamaica thing is standard look. That's how the man can represent Jamaica.
Look here, man. And this is the man did not play professional football in Europe. Whenever they play no professional football in Europe, you know. What happened with him? When he over against and to Bailey, the inner gang team, them happen in the liquor like the under 20 or whatever.
The developmental reserves.
Yes, I play little football. Nothing serious. Nothing serious. When the man say, England want the guys them. Want both kind of... I'm not there something else for this man. I'm there some kind of say this man is sick in my head, you know. The man said England want the guys them. The two. And at the time, the amount of young player where England have been at the time, you know, sir. The amount of young player, you know, where England have been, sir. If England want his son, you know, we can make a club team, you know, sir. Because you know, they tell us the man terrible, man.
When we cover big speed, more present, one of these no tactics, not even one tactics, one of these.
And I'm out make people want make glass winning get cash, you know.
Exactly.
You know? Come here, tell us.
But even Ireland start with the nonsense now. And yeah, make you see so many stuff like start nonsense, start talking, you know. When they get the player and get to play for Europe. I mean, that's the 1 let him drink some of the Kool-Aid.
But he is what see, a coach like Lenny Hyde will win 3 or 4 Premier League.
3 Premier League, 3 different teams.
Hey, make him with about 3 or 4 different teams. Make a man come take him about my friend and tell him some foolishness and let him sit down and that. Sit down and
that. I can't, and when be Lenny and talk, you know, say Lenny gone, brother.
Yeah, man. Listen, the man sit down on the bench and just sit down and look. So me I say, watch Lenny. Make the man have him as a little tie. Eh?
True, yeah.
Oh, right. Me lose the man big time, I tell you, man. Big time.
The man, Lenny from main class. But it just goes to show you, it's another character, because sometimes, you know, money is important, you know, I don't need money. But something have to stand on principle, to preserve a reputation, you know?
That's true, man.
I tell you, you have to preserve a reputation, man, because if we're not in there, we're nothing now, but when it's just said, there's a lot of people who are going to down.
I think what Fred Butler did in the Premier League was he underestimated the opponent.
Yes,
he underestimated the opponent. Yeah, the league has all his opponents. We underestimate them. JT, there was going to bring. Okay. Yeah. So he's gonna go down the League 2. I think if he's there half season and it doesn't work out, he probably leaves there because he's on. His players playing actually in the second tier in Jamaica doesn't really help his argument. If they're not playing national for the national team, it doesn't really help the argument. But they're gonna say, I have some tier 2 guys down there in Jamaica. You should come look at.
JT,
Yeah.
JT, may I tell you this? And Mark, when me tell you right today, Sunday, today was the 4th or the 5th. May I tell you this? Butler not playing no tier 2. Me bet him not playing tier 2.
I know him
Him
make
going
money control the
He's
team.
gonna pull out the players them. Him going pull out the players them, and him going he don't take them and go for some like in European thing when normally go sit down over Europe for a period of time, and then come back and come talk some things. Same players them, the players them get contract and one bag of nonsense, and that's why.
Yep.
What not here too? In not you might see Lenny might there, but you're not seeing him. What I say?
You might have the substance fisherman. You might have the substance.
You what I say?
But the people who want to cost and cost them, like them certain people match it up.
Yeah. Take the team from Clarendon and him not train there. Him not do not never want to go play football when it's the team to play. Yeah. Him not me I tell you man. Watch what going happen. You watch out.
But how much player them from original player them from here was a part of the team. But you understand them drop them, all of them.
Yeah, he drop the whole of them. You know, run the whole of players them from where they not the team. Before.
And the question I ask you, if that was the arrangement that the original owner. If that's what
Craig Butler is saying, he's saying basically he's investing the money, so he calls the shot when it comes to players.
So they got another party right about the money to spend. So never spend 100 cents.
I don't know the fine print of that contract, but I think Craig Butler went into that contract wanting power. So, and Veer wanted the exposure. And that, exposure Veer go with, thinking that Craig Butler sold them. Say, listen, when we sell the players and they attach to Veer gets money as well. I think that's what Craig Butler sold them. So we use it as a factory to pump out players and we just stay up in the Premier League.
But if they was a fan of Veer, they of course they own it.
Yeah, man, him sell them things like when him sell to Maggie, and Maggie fall feet. See me and sell the people in Clarendon, the management, and them fall feet. Because them look for the thing and the whisper thing, and then when they get sold, they might just tell them some nonsense and then believe him, and then go mash up them things. And me and tell them how work.
You want your son correctly. You want your son. You like truthful. You like to say and it's the ego of your house. That my ego out. You know, put it this way. It says you're not humble person. I am far. You're not feel disappointed, but you know what's ready. You never have. If you go up, you say, go hungry, and go hard, and feed yourself, and fast, and knowing that it's our laugh after your decision. So, we don't need something in the right.
Yeah, man, you think Butler go make people come stand up outside and go see Butler stand up and I want to second tier football match. And man go down there and laugh and a point and I say, what? But them things, they don't do that. He's not going to do it.
You're going to take him so far.
But
it's funny. But what that should happen? You should stay with this football concept, work himself on this, in understanding about the game. But when Butler does come, he wants to come and JFK, he wants to be president. He wants to run the this, he wants to run that. And because he wants to tell them what he wants, because so I think they want illegal, you know what, right?
Yeah, man.
So I think when somebody wishes they want granted, I said illegal wishes and some unethical things, and man said, no, you can't work, that's not way there.
No, but that's why I'm saying he'll go through Europe and come back and come tell people some things that you have some people buying it, and I say, yeah, man, give him position. And if you run the JFF, if you did it from much time, people would have some suspension and all of them things if this man didn't run it. So, right now, in terms of him coaching license, a big license, and Speed tell himself to present the license. He say one coach must say under 20. The man say present your license. Him cuss off Speed. He start tell Speed some breeder things. He not show. I know he can't show no license.
That's why I don't speak for all over because me and I make him have to go. Me not speak first, I understand, you know. But I graduate from that. But I understand that he not have a Premier League license to sit up on the bench. True?
You don't have none of them something.
Why not? That's why I have to tell you. It's just sometimes you can walk the team range up, you know, if you don't know how to play the politics at the time. If you know that you want to get in back, let's say, go over the get it. What happened to
Now that I tell you, so the man told the man ego, man. Because I'm saying big European, some European life or something, you know, and I don't show nobody it, you know. Nobody can see it all now, you know. Nobody can see it all now. But when he send him say send him written me, and the man say send him like, I'll know him say, him not send none like.
That big life.
Yeah, say film like big like nobody can see it.
You might have big life, sir. You might have a giant trailer and plane.
But anyway, JT, you know what, one of them week when you come on, and when them name the squad, name the team in a group, you're like a concern about the team when they try and everything. JT. No, I think JT did it for the line. I'm going to ask you about the team before we get down at the zone. And I go up this year, and I'm going to
the audio is very bad now, people. Like, audio is like. But guess what?
I mean, come on then.
Yeah, but guess what? At 3 hours we've been talking, okay? You know, it's midnight and now I work, I'm on it. Jump up 5 o'clock. So, and get Calico one day to school and get on the road. You know what thing go?
No, one thing we don't ask JT, we don't ask about the team the way they're doing that World Cup. Here, like I said, the team they will get like a top zone.
Yeah, man, I think all of them teams they can give Jamaica problems. If we don't get the squad combination correctly.
Then we should have group without going to forget a soccer group.
No, me not care which group we're going in now. I'm just concerned about the actual team that we have and who is in front of us. You know, I'm not going to sit down here and cry about the group.
Like me here, you and me here, Ryan, you know. Me I say when me here, me I say then I wish group everything didn't have to go in. Where did it have to go?
You know, in a way, the group supposed to be a easy group for we, you know. And that's the thing, you know, the group supposed to be an easy group, but don't feel team play mad. You know, we don't really know.
Yeah.
If we have a problem with a group, then which part we're going to go in a World Cup? Yeah, Bill.
We can't let the battle stay, but if you have to work hard. If you come to the one we can slide to, but we're not going to slide to. As much as it's easy to reach, we can go slide to.
If we cannot come out of this group, man, we don't deserve to go play no football. If we can't come out of this group, we don't deserve to play no World Cup campaign, and we don't deserve. We go fuck up if we can't come out of this group.
Yeah.
But yes, man. Then if me here sit down here and here, man, I say we have one of the strongest team in a Concacaf, and all of them something, and we get Guadeloupe and them team now, we are afraid.
St. Vincent. St. Vincent nearly make Jamaica not qualify.
Yeah. But we know, you see a bunch of mentality. If they have Jamaica people and Liverpool, and I think them after they never see the things that they are the biggest game. And sometimes when they look for them, I try to do, you know. I some players they can't stand the test of time, you know. And they don't realize that the other teams have the same exposure like we, you know.
Yeah, that's why I say sometimes some man just get up and them just play, them just talk from them here, say a player come from yesterday, so we start come around and say, we stronger than America, we have bigger team than Canada. And every time you hear come and talk, them talk, I mean, I say, with them, what kind of football guys they are watching?
But Fisherman, I can go and record and say, I'm JT. Gtech never better than America yet.
Which part? No time at all.
Never better than America. When I say we don't beat them, when I say we don't beat them, we don't beat them.
We have gotten close and we were competitive in some games, but we weren't as good as them.
Competitive.
Yeah.
We never better than America yet.
We never better than them yet. No time at all.
Never. Yeah, they one or two matches, we'll match them. I will play them. But if you look on the record, you look from 1990 now, and look what time Jamaica beat them, and what time them beat me. That's how you know they're not competition on the rest of it. They're only competition on the rest.
We know better than them. And no. Canada, we know the better than Canada. We know better. What here? Man say Mexico gone down, we better than Mexico. Let's say the people are
Remember the chief passport thing, Canada, Mexico, and America, professionally. When I got every professional, about professional league.
Yeah.
And we struggle to get going, keep going, and suddenly we're supposed to make it and then.
You say, wow, you have the youth to go take it down and what now? You know what? Don't try for the people here, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
man, we link up back, man, and take care. The closer we get to the game, them, the Unity Cup and the squad, then, you know, so we heat up a little bit more towards the game. Yeah, man. All right, so take care of yourself. All right, blessings.
Respect about.
All right, people. Thank you very much, people, for joining us. It kind of ended in a radio vibe, but that's how it works here. So, Newton, you have to watch it back from top. But yeah, man, it ended in just a general discussion. We need to get Fisherman a good headpiece, like you need to have something where him can work. It filters out some of the noise, because I think he have some good points to make, but it affects his audio. Yeah, Paul have to sort out him audio too. Travis did pass through loud as usual and love the football. But big up on yourself, Lee. Everybody who came through. Yeah, man, we chop it up one day this week again. All right, we have to jump on a slave tomorrow. So take care, everybody. Rest up on yourself. One love. I know you go already.